practice. Sliders may be cool, but no practice slides or touching the stone. No sweeping is allowed to clean the background. Practice is over. Coaches and alternates, please leave the ice. Return all stones to the home end.
It all comes down to this. 16 teams have been competing for the right to represent their country at the World Championships for the men and the Junior Bs for the women. We're in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, at the Eau Claire Curling Club for the USA Curling U21 Men's and Women's National Championships. We are all set for the championship final for the men and the women. You see the roads they took to get here. Abear takes Cenzalli down in the 1-2, gets a rematch in the final after Cenzalli beats Gensel in the semifinal. These have been the top two teams in the standings all week long. For the women's side, it will be the same thing. The top two teams with Giroux taking on Johnson. Our feature game will be Team Cenzalli taking on Team Abear. This will be the rubber match for these three. There you see Abear had a 6-1 record. That lost to Cenzalli. We're 7-0, so both with a win against each other. Only right that they get to do it again one more time in the final. There you see Team Abear, skipped by Caden Hebert. Third, Jackson Bestland. Second, Benji Perrell. Lead, Jack Wendland. Alternate, Shane Nelson. They are coached by Eau Claire's own Mike Poplinski. For Team Cenzalli, skip by Wes Wendling. Third, Daniel Loffer. Second, be Nick Cenzalli. Lead, Shah Basiri. Alternate, Dylan Chepka. And coached by Wayne Anderson, not here, of course, but his picture is in the building, as it has been all week long, with its own chair. We are all set to get things going. Tyler George joined once again by popular demand. Junior national champion. National men's silver medalist. Wugs, silver medalist. Count him up. He's got a lot of medals. Ben Richardson. Benny, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me again, Ty. This should be a really good one. I've been so impressed with both of these teams all week, so this should be a fun game to watch.
This should be a great game, and as we said in the intro, Ben, it's always great when you see two teams atop the standings all week, play against each other twice already, each team winning one, and now they get to do it one more time. No questions about who the deserving champion is when we see a winner from this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and no surprise with it being both of these teams. You know, sometimes it can be hard losing that 1-2 game and having to play that semifinal after having just lost, but Team Cenzalli stayed strong, had a really close game against Team Gensel, who also had a really strong performance, but managed to sneak out the win, so they're back here against Team Abear.
Cenzalli going to the guard, start off the game. Abear coming around to back 8 foot, and this is lead Shah Basiri.
Back 4. Top 12. Line's good.
Going around the outturn draw.
Line's
We'll have
good.
plenty of updates on the women's final as we go for those that are watching the feature stream. And if you have a second screen in your home,
All the way.
you can watch both these games at the same time. We'll make sure
That's fine.
you know what's going on if you're sticking with us here in the feature.
That's all right.
Second guard up top. That one touches the center line. So Jack Wendland playing the intern around the outside. And Ben, you notice the difference even from lead stones, and you'll see it all game in rotation, that each team throws on their stones, whether it's draws or hits. Team Abear, a lot of spin on their stones to hold lines. So you're going to see different brooms put down from these teams and what they need to make these shots.
Yeah, that's been a very consistent thing for Team Abear this week and this season. They like the more rotation on all of their rocks. I think the methodology there is that it's a little bit more controllable with the directional sweeping. We've seen teams like Team Mowat from Scotland kind of take up that technique first. But definitely something that both skips and both teams are going to have to be aware of with that broom, because you can't always rely on putting down the broom in the same place as the other team because they're throwing it differently.
Back four, to it. Clean, straight.
Out turn, come around, draw. Line looks pretty good here.
Distance. Hard distance. Hard, get it here. 4 foot. Good sweep, boys. You're good.
Stops in the top of the 8 foot.
That's fine.
Abear still count in the back 8s. So these teams wasting no time, Ben. They're very familiar with each other. Not unusual at all, especially in a national final, to see teams kind of ease into the game, trade hits, and get used to the conditions, but not the case at all for these two teams.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too surprised. Both of these teams like to play a little bit more aggressively than maybe some other teams in the field, but that's why they've done so well, is because they play aggressively and they execute.
A broadcaster's dream, starting off with that many in. The guards leave now, and both yellows, one goes off, one goes into the side of the 8 foot. Skip Wes Wendling.
Come and freeze here. It's up to you.
Measuring up where they'd like to go.
Control.
A little more conservative play, probably the correct play this early in the game without hammer. Don't want to look at too many opposing counters.
Close.
Nick Cenzalli throwing the intern hit. Nick had a nosebleed his last game and
Yep.
had to have a medical stoppage.
Yep.
Said he blew his nose too hard. There's no fist fight on the ice or anything. If they did, we'd definitely have a clip on X and Facebook already.
Yep.
But Nick refused to wash his face after the game because he liked having the blood on there, I guess, and thought when I shower, I'll wash it off later. Just a war wound I think he liked showing off in the club.
It's a pretty hardcore look to it, I guess. Maybe a little bit of an intimidation factor to it.
Whatever makes you feel good. I don't think Nick needs any more adrenaline rush than he already has. The energy he shows.
Very high intense player for sure.
Benji Perrell. Good sweep there to miss the backing.
Sorry, I just got to be a little earlier there. Yeah.
Maybe a chance here for Team Cenzalli to get rid of all the reds, with those being both in front of each other. Looks like nose to me will do it.
Sounds like they're trying to roll away, but can you get it either way with just off nose inside or outside?
Yeah, should be able to stick your shooter either way. Might have to play it slightly quieter if you're going across the face, but.
Dan Loffer.
Whoa, curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Hard curl.
Siri trying to get this one to turn a little bit, but ends up rolling away to the side of the 12 foot.
Yeah, not a bad result. Opens up the back one.
9.
I stuck the shooter.
I have to probably put my phone a little ways away from me because every time I say Shah's last name, Siri responds on my phone. There it is again.
Siri, hey Siri.
I don't see your phone acting up when you do that.
No, my phone doesn't like to listen to me for some reason.
So Jackson Bestland, third for Team Abear, playing the intern inside out.
Keep going.
Rolls all the way out wide to the opposite
bench.
12 foot.
Good sweep, bench.
No real double there to get rid of both stones with not enough space between the rock and the back 8s and one of the top 12, so they're just going to roll away with this rock, and they should still sit 3. Lawfer's second.
Close. Wait. Yep. Yes. Yep. Good. 10-7.
It just ends up right on the nose.
Okay. How much weight? You like control?
Still a chance here, maybe for Team Abear to roll underneath the yellow. It'll be behind the tee line, so I'll be curious to see how Team Cenzalli would respond to that shot. Could either freeze or maybe play a run back, but first this shot needs to be made by Jackson.
Is an out turn, soft weight hit attempt for Bestland. This one taking its time riding that center line.
Whoa. Roll to here, bench. Yep, whoa.
So they roll the opposite way instead, and does sit for shot. So red sitting first and fourth, yellow second and third.
Crazy, but it might move a little bit.
Yeah, probably the best plan B for that shot, creating some separation. Unfortunate for Team Abear that if this hit is made, they will be fourth shot. But still maybe a chance to make a couple doubles with Caden's rocks.
It should.
And we see the peanut gallery out there
I
with
think this is good.
fellow competitors from the tournament. I remember those days from
10-5.
juniors. Went out and chirping the other players and enjoying, spending time with players from other teams, which of course usually meant we were out of the tournament too. But you wouldn't know a whole lot about that, Ben.
Yeah, I can't say I did that a whole lot, not to toot my own horn, but
Hard, bud. Hard for nose. Hard nose. Good.
Good sweep there. Nice shot from Wendling. Always good to make one of those early too, Ben. Those soft waiters that are a little bit of finesse shot, like board to control somewhere in there. Just gives you a confident feeling that you have the conditions down early in the game.
yeah, absolutely. Those are the kind of shots where you need to be in complete control of your own slide and delivery, but also know what the ice is doing. So if you make those early, it certainly gives you a lot of confidence going forward.
There's the VIP section over there with the goofballs from Team Shield. Now skip Caden Hebert. Just trying to freeze on this stone in the back of the rings. Good decision. Obviously not going to be a blank, and best way to score 2 is with the freeze.
Yeah, I like this. They're pretty much forced into this at this point. Might as well go for the skip's deuce with the blank not being alive really at this point.
Mine's good. 14-3. Whoa. Curl.
Whoa, just let it grind.
Whoa, let it die. Red.
Just a hair up and ends up tapping and rolling open.
No, I just drug it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sometimes it can be hard to know the speed of those inside-out paths early in the game. Often you'll see them being a little bit slower with the teams having practice before the game, usually throwing more outside-in type shots. But sometimes, I mean, it can be just as fast as outside in. Just something to be on top of early in the game.
Good. Right side. But if we hit nose, that's great too.
So you heard them say they'd like to roll a little to the outside. They'd like Abear to be drawing against 3 as opposed to playing the open hit. Final stone of the first for Wes Wendling.
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait.
Clean.
Claws.
Clean. A little bit. Yep.
Curl.
Straight.
Whoa. Whoa. Roll it.
Little roll. Roll. That's fine.
That's well done. That's a little bit of a teaser on that line, so looks like Bestland is going to opt to draw with backing.
If I throw T-line, it'll be right on it.
He's just throwing T, but this is a shot, Ben. You got to be very careful.
Better T here.
Subconsciously, you see that stone knowing you have it for backing, but if you put broom down for the clean draw and throw weight for backing, especially starting on the center line, it may end up coasting by, so you better have dead weight for this shot.
Yeah, you always want to be careful of those double negatives, taking too much ice and giving too much weight. As a skip, it's really important just to remember you have the sweepers. They're there to help you. Just throw the shot to make the shot. And
Final stone, first end. Big draw for Caden Hebert.
Line's good.
There you see that rotation we talked about too.
Easy, easy.
Shouldn't
Line's
take
good.
too hard of a turn.
All you boys.
Straight if
Jack,
ever. Straight,
Jack, yep,
straight,
yep,
straight.
Jack, yes.
Straight.
Starting to curl
Hard
now
straight, 15.
after it got off the
Jack,
center
hard
line.
Line, hard,
Hard line,
Got to
Jack.
go
straight.
not to cross if they're going to
Hard,
score.
hard, hard.
And nicely read. That will be a single for Abear. Makes the key shot early. They lead 1-0 after one end in this championship final.
Good force. Good job, boys. Yeah.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Single point for Caden Hebert. That draw against 3 in the first end, leading 1-0 over Nick Cenzalli. Now Cenzalli will have hammer. And Ben, that's a tester early for Abear. Even though it's a simple shot, anytime you're throwing it against 3 in the first, you know, that could be a big, not just momentum changer, but scoreboard changer where one miss that early in the game when you're not quite that comfortable and you're trying to dig out of a hole.
yeah, you know, these are 10-end games, so there's plenty of time to recover after something like that, but it can really be a big shift to the momentum early on and something that can be hard to recover from. So I feel like both skips have shown up to play here early. Both Wes and Caden are making those delicate shots really well.
Top 4. Line's good. Got to be back 8 then.
Stay on its own.
Okay. We got a curl.
In turn,
then.
come around draw here
Okay, go back 8.
for Shabasiri.
Yeah, curl.
All the way here. Caden's got it.
Hair hot. You're fine.
That'll work.
Goes all the way back, but is still on the rings.
30.
So both teams electing to go center guard to start off without hammer. We're going to be throwing haymakers all day long in this final.
Hey, just 6.
Going to be a fun one to watch if that's the case.
You did see on the ticker,
Just
too,
6.
Allery Johnson took
Just
one with
6.
hammer in the
Gotta
first
curl.
end in the women's final.
15-1. Curl. Top 2 here, boys. Curl. Top 2.
You know, sometimes you can see with a lot of curling clubs that you play in, it can be a different speed going away versus coming towards the glass. I'm just curious, have you seen any difference with the speed going away versus coming back?
No, not really. I mean, not to say it doesn't exist, but haven't noticed it throughout the week.
Sure.
Haven't heard any of the players mention anything about it either. We did see that in Traverse City for the mixed doubles throughout the week. It was always going uphill one way, downhill the other way.
Little room.
If I remember right, it was faster going away, right, and then slower coming back.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And there was a couple sheets where it was more dramatic than others. That
Right.
sheet C,
Right.
where I think you ended up commentating a lot, was one of the more dramatic ones.
Hard to it.
Certainly not an uncommon thing in a lot of curling clubs, but
That'll work.
nice to hear that it doesn't seem to be the case here.
What?
Nice draw to the top of the fours, top of the button by
Probably pretty close
Shabasiri.
to a 40.
Your phone didn't turn on for that one.
No, twice in a row. I think I turned my face away enough.
Yeah.
Stop 4.
Got Curling Stadium czar John Benton in the house now too. Came over for the finals.
Yep.
Fort.
In the booth taking pictures of all the
Hard 6.
handsome men back here running the show.
5.
Hard. Keep going. Yep. Hard 16. Gotta go.
Gotta go, Jack. Head down. Keep going. Keep going, Jack. Gotta go. Hard, Jack.
Benji Peril, intern freeze.
Wes, you bumped it
It's
like-
up to top of the 8 foot.
Put it back. Like,
It's fine.
Didn't see what happened there, but maybe Caden just accidentally
Peel.
touched a rock with his foot. Didn't seem to move it too much. No harm, no foul.
To go here.
Okay.
Just the one's fine. Yep. Hard.
Nick Cenzalli playing the run.
Roll it. Good.
Loses both reds. Good result there.
That'll work.
Rolled over to a semi-corner as well.
Been seeing a lot of those run back shots being made by this team Cenzalli all week long. It's been one of their strengths for
just a
sure.
straight guard, center guard.
Yeah, I like it.
Such a strong field with some pretty good depth too, Ben, where I thought the most competitive game of the round robin was between Brendan and Abear, and Brendan didn't even make the playoffs, losing out on tiebreaker with head-to-head. A talented team that doesn't even get into the Final Four and certainly would have deserved to be there had they done so. So great for the future of the sport to see that many teams that can compete at that high of a level.
Yeah, really a statement to the depth of this field. It's really fun to see. Junior Nationals are going to be really fun to watch for the next 3, 4, and there's people even younger than these guys that are coming up too. It's going to be good for a long time. I'm really excited.
We saw Team Chapman for the women's side
Tight.
making the final 3 with the 3 Chapman sisters and Jessie Margan. And
We should come and bump too.
there are 4 Chapman sisters, and they are 19, 16, 13, and a 10-year-old that has not even made it to this stage yet. So talking about for the future, for years to come, I mean, you could probably just pencil in the name Chapman for the next decade.
Yep, I'd say that's a
These
safe bet.
championships.
Just give the youngest one a couple of years. She'll be in the semi.
You're good.
Now she's already beating the men's teams in league apparently in Duluth, or playing on those teams. So
8-3.
Probably
Yeah,
not
that's
easy
all
teams
time.
to play either if they're in
Good.
Duluth.
I'm gonna slide as slow as I can. It's like a 4-6.
So Jackson Bestland,
Easy, easy.
Mine's good.
Easy, Jack. Whoa.
intern draw.
Benji. Benji. Curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Gotta go.
Hard bench.
Trying to get
Gotta
this
go,
to
bench,
turn
gotta go.
over and
Hard.
get to the center
All the way
line if
across.
they can.
Hard center line, bench. Keep
All the way
going.
across,
Protect
bench.
that
Hard
counter.
bench, get across. Keep going.
Great sweep to get it as far as they did. Now small port there. Could be played.
Yeah, not necessarily too risky, because even if
Like
you
control.
overcurl and wreck the guard, that's no problem. It opens it up, forces Team Abear to
I think
throw
we
up
need
another good
control.
guard.
Stay straight.
I like going for it for sure.
Absolutely. So third Dan Loffer playing the out turn through the hole.
Wait. Close.
Good calm
Yep,
energy
yep,
from
yep.
both of these teams so far.
Hard. Hard.
This one looks good from Loffer.
Whoa.
Spreads them out and stays with all 3.
Really good, bud.
Really good shot there from Loffer.
Beautiful shot. I love that weight choice there. Just enough to get rid of the red and keep your shooter around.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Our other
11.
playoff teams this week too. Mason Gensel, such an impressive run from that team. They'll be back without question.
Another
Julia
young team.
Pekowitz on the women's side too. They had an impressive run, finishing third after the round robin.
Clean.
Such high expectations going forward now.
Clean. Curl. Whoa. Curl. Curl. Hard.
Team Church as well for the men's side that
Olive roll, olive
really
roll.
played a strong playoff game, but just got caught on the wrong side of the inch a few times. And nothing but positive things to say about these teams. You see that fantastic hit and roll there by Bestland. Huge shot, looking at 3 without hammer.
Yeah, a couple of big shots from both the thirds early in this game. I think that's going to be the key. One of the big keys of this game are the third players. Both have been playing so well all week long. It's going to be a battle between them.
That's fine. Should curl.
Very precise here, playing hack around the outside. May play into a jam too. They looked at the peel or run initially. Now switch to this intern hack waiter.
Wait. Yep.
Close, half.
Whoa. Whoa.
Both teams sharp early in this contest.
Curl. Hard curl. Hard.
See how much of this red they can get. Maybe get it over the top. Just clips that back yellow, but sits 2. Really well done by Laufer, excuse me. Great weight control again, Ben. That's the exact weight you need to make that shot.
Yeah, and that's another thing that can be really tough with these final games. With the adrenaline pumping, you're a little more nervous than you usually are. And those delicate weight shots can be easy to overthrow with the heart rate up, the adrenaline up. But no problem for these teams so far.
So it looks as though they're going to attempt that same hit and roll, trying to get behind their own red guard. Barely had any of it showing on the previous shot, and still dug out by Laufer. Here is skip Caden Hebert.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Clean.
Caden also at the men's
Clean.
nationals
Curl.
with Wes
Curl.
Wendling
Curl.
this previous
Hard
nationals,
Hard bench.
Hard bench.
Hard all the way. Hard.
as well as Jackson
Really gotta
Bestland.
go. Olive roll, olive roll.
Yeah, that one, the rotation hurt the roll with it rotating the opposite direction, Ben, where if you hit that with a normal rotation, that same spot in these striking bands, that probably kicks underneath.
Yeah, it looked like that might have been more rotation than Jackson's hit and roll, and probably released it at a similar spot. So maybe just got caught that running a little straighter than they expected.
He sets his a ton.
I think this is my last Diet Dr. Pepper for the week now.
If it stays
The
straight,
good
we're
people
gonna
of the
roll
Eau Claire
outside.
Curling Club had a steady supply for
I
me
like this, 10-5.
all week long. Just need one last little bump to carry us through this championship game. Here is Skip Wes Wendling, 4th place finish in this previous men's national championship, 4th place finish in the Junior Worlds
Clean. Curl.
Curl.
just a short while ago.
Straight. Whoa, whoa.
Curl. Curl.
Wes reminds me of a Kevin Cooey type of curler. You barely see any emotion either way. It just stays even keel through the whole game. Pretty ideal for what you want with a skip.
I like 11 still.
Yeah, he has a little fire in him too. I can attest to that. We played in the
I like 11.
Duluth Cash, and I was kind of trying to rev his engine a little bit after a big shot. And
Control.
sorry, Wes, but he may or may not have sworn back at me when I swore at him, which I loved.
Yep.
So it's there. And it was a rare occasion. I think it was the only time in 5 games. But he got a little jacked up too. A little fist bump. It was
There's a time and a place for that.
absolutely there is. I'd be more worried if you didn't see it at some point. So it does curl enough to get edge to edge. So Abear now trying same shot, hack weight.
Whoa, whoa,
Really
whoa,
want to
whoa,
make sure
whoa.
of the hit first, though. If your worst case is
Clean.
2, it's
Whoa.
not so bad.
Curl, curl, curl.
This one a little
Hard
on the
curl.
wide side.
Hard for a
Definitely
stick.
not getting on the inside.
Hard for a stick.
Rolls towards the wing. It's close for count. And Ben, the rotation
sure
can
it's
be
us
so
by a bit, right?
accurate when you throw it on the right line. Those types of shots where
I like the draw.
you're trying to get as close to nose or inside as possible with the finesse shot makes those a little tougher.
Yeah, I know we've talked about that before. It can make the point where you have to hit the rock really precise.
Just drop.
But at the same time,
Two-line.
the sweeping becomes a little bit more
30.
effective. So it's kind of just which
I
one
like
you
it.
prefer. But yeah, with that extra rotation, you saw that rock go out probably
Okay, I like a 30
quite a bit
there.
further than
Let's do it.
a rock with a little less rotation.
30.
So I think Wendling is shot here, just a draw.
So they are drawing, so we're going to assume they're sitting one already, as you said, Ben. Final stone. Second end for Wes Wendling.
Wait only. Line's really good.
Full 12.
Keep it clean, Shaw. Keep it clean. Just clean.
Just needs full 12 foot for the second
14-8,
point.
It's gonna stay.
Full 12.
Looks to be just fine.
Drop, Shaw. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And they will get that second point to go up 2-1 after two ends. Trying to win this men's junior national championship, just like former national champion juniors Craig Brown, owner of Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, and they're proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, they have all the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit us at stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Thank you, Craig. (2-1) Cenzalli leading over Abear after two ends of play. Cenzalli getting their two in the second end to take this 1-point lead. Take a look at the women's final. They are in the beginning of the third end as well. You see a 1-1 score there. Giroux equaling the single in the first from Johnson. Johnson with hammer in the third.
All right. Yeah, 4-5.
Jack Wentland getting his team started here in the third.
Line's great.
2.5. 3. 3. Can't go. Just 3.
Jackson's rock right now.
Once again, and started off with a center guard by team without hammer. Cenzalli not sitting on that 1-point lead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good, Jack.
Control 45 will go.
So center guard and a corner guard. Expect to see some action this end.
Sounds really good.
Shabasiri out turn side.
Really
Coming
close.
around his own center guard.
3. Line's good. Top 4. 3.
Well, so far, good play from both teams. Slight advantage to Team Cenzalli, I would say, especially with this play around the center. They've just been able to get those angles just slightly better than Team Abear, controlling that 4-foot area really well.
51.
And these teams are so evenly matched.
Try like a 35.
We were talking predictions before the game, and it really feels like a coin toss either way. There's no confident prediction. I think you could say the same for both the men's and the women's finals, and that's a good thing for USA Curling. That's whichever team we have representing us out of these two finals.
7.
We have high hopes for going forward for
6.
World Championship competition.
Yeah, absolutely. It almost reminds me of every time I watch the Canadian Brier or the Canadian Scotties. You know, you could handpick probably 6, 7, 8 of those teams to go to Worlds, and they would perform really well. I almost feel the same here. Like, we're starting to get that same level of depth in the junior field, which is really exciting for the future.
Nice pair there from Jack Wentland, starting off this third. Makes the corner guard and completely buries behind it.
Top four.
No ad.
So Nick Cenzalli now playing the out turn around
Line's good.
2 yellow stones in the front.
Whoa.
Little room.
Gonna have to curl.
Line's good. Just let it. On its own.
Sorry, Wes.
That'll work. You're good. That's fine.
Stops in the back of the 8s. And Ben, I like Nick's energy so far in this game, too. It seems from at time to time he'd get a little worked up.
We're trying to roll out.
It's,
No, stay on
I
the
needed to
corner.
focus that energy more, and he's really got that good, quiet intensity going right now, and the team kind of follows his energy. So that makes a big difference for how they handle themselves, too. You know, you always have one player at least on a team that their energy kind of dictates everybody else's, and I think Nick is definitely that player for his squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with players in that vice position, they can often be the key people on a team to kind of dictate the energy. And Nick is definitely an intense guy, and he knows that there's a time and place for the intensity. And most of the time, though, just staying even keel and waiting for those opportunities to let out the intensity, pick and choose.
Yeah, it can definitely be a weapon for your team having that intensity.
Hard. Hard. That's
Just
fine.
crosses a little bit, but opens it up.
Again.
You're good.
Almost wouldn't mind a freeze on this shot, Ben, as strange as it may
11.
sound, just because you have so much
10.
time left in this end. Trying to maintain a 2 is going to be really difficult for 4 more shots.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, there's a couple options. You could freeze to that back one, or you could throw back up the guard. I would be surprised if Team Cenzalli didn't try to peel or run the guard again.
Whoa, girl.
But Team Abear may be satisfied with
Clean, straight.
the blank if that's what it comes to, and a couple good hit and rolls. They may still have a chance for a
Good go,
2.
bench.
Good hit and stick by Benji Perrell.
We can.
Both teams seem very decisive, too, so far in their shot
I
calling.
like 10-5 still.
Yeah, I don't think either teams have really had any issues with the clock this week. They've been very good at managing that.
Dan Loffer playing
Wait.
soft hit on the outside stone, trying to roll middle.
Hard. Hard.
Love to try to set up a double.
Good throw. 10-3.
Rolls about a foot. So it'll be a hit and stick now for Abear. Jackson Bestland's first.
Yeah, I think nose does the trick here. Makes the double pretty difficult.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Curl.
Clean.
Curl.
Straights. Hard. Whoa. Roll.
Crosses over, so they're going to roll it right to the center. There's the double that Team Cenzalli was looking for.
Yeah. Just normal, bud.
Loffer not overthrowing this one.
Close.
Just playing solid normal.
Whoa. Close. Straight. Whoa.
Very close. Looks good right now. That's well done by Loffer. Perfect throw. Just a nice solid delivery there, Ben. Not a lot in it. Just firm weight. Didn't overthrow it.
Yeah, I feel like I sound like a broken record here a little bit, but I'm just so impressed with the weight choice from all the junior teams this week. They're not overthrowing it. We know that the tendency with younger teams can be to throw those high, hard ones all the time, but not with these two teams. They choose the weight to make the shot every time.
So I'd expect these teams now to hit out, play for the blank. So we'll take a look back over at our women's final. You see
10-5.
Team Johnson sitting 2 right now, throwing a third counter in.
10-5.
And that was last stone, so that's appears to be a 3 for Johnson
Nose is fine.
to go up 4-1. Don't believe that top rock was on the rings. I think we're going to say 3.
Yeah, hard to say, but that's what I was thinking too.
So at a minimum, 4-1 lead for Johnson in the women's championship matchup. A commanding lead early.
Just wait.
Skip
Just
West
wait.
Wendling.
Clean. Just
Open
clean.
out turn hit.
Yep.
Hearing just clean there. And both teams will bank a little more time for later in the game now.
Okay.
One thing I did notice on Daniel's last with that double, I saw the fist bump from Nick, and we were just talking about that, the chosen intensity, and I really like that time for a little bit of intensity because, you know, he's celebrating a teammate's make, and he's picking up his teammate.
Right. And it reminds me so much of how we looked at Matt Hamilton for our team too, where when it's focused into the team and it's channeled correctly, it can really pick you up. And Nick with that, like you said, controlled energy, that fist pump, the guys like that. You know, that's the energy they like to see when you're all in that together. You get a few of these going. You know, you need that from one of your players. I mean, I've always felt for the teams I've played on that I don't want to have to be the energy guy. I'll bring it here and there, but I'd like it to come from someone else for a specific purpose. And you look at the rest of this team, Cenzalli, and you know, Wes is, as you said, a very understated guy. He can be intense, but he's not going to be the fist pump rah-rah guy. And I don't see that at all really from Laffer either or from Basiri. But that's where that comes from for their squad. And I like his energy now more than I've seen at any point in this tournament.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm a fan of, you know, fist bumps on your own shots, you know, getting intense for that. But there's just an added element when you show that support for your teammates. Like, it picks up your team, makes everyone feel confident.
So Wendling's last, out turn hit. And really the same goes for Team Abear right now. They're kind of understated at top to bottom with their squad. You will see some fist pumps here and there, but they're just really easy as it goes. We don't need to put a lot of energy into it. We're calm, confident, and that goes 1 through 4 with that team.
Wouldn't mind seeing some fireworks from them, though.
Well, for streaming and television purposes, absolutely, yeah. No more blood, though. We got that last game with Mr. Cenzalli.
It's the wrong kind of firework.
Yeah. Final stone, third end. Caden Hebert.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa.
Just playing for the blank. Very cleanly thrown. They will get the blank. So Cenzalli maintains the 2-1 lead after 3. We'll see which team has a hero rise to the top at the end of this matchup. Just like Warm Room Hero. They're more than just software. They're curlers dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. Thank you for your continued support and sponsorship, Warm Room Hero. Solid execution from both teams there in the third. Getting that blank. Cenzalli leading 2-1 on to the fourth. There you see the hardware that these teams are playing for. That's always the corner of your vision there, Ben, that the trophies, the medals, you know, what's at stake, representing your country. Always in the back of your mind, trying to stay focused on the task, but it's nice to see that end of the rainbow if you can come out on top today.
I was going to ask, when you've been in situations like that, do you try to put on the blinders and ignore that, or do you look at it a little bit and go, yeah, that's what we're playing for?
I think you take a look when you go out there, because it's hard not to. You know, it's big giant trophies and shiny medals that they were never there throughout the week. But you're still focused on the task at hand. Like, I don't remember really looking over at it during any of the finals I played in. It's just always there. And when you play in a few of them, as you have now too, you know, it's not that the novelty wears off as much as it's just what you expect. And I don't think the players, you know, that haven't played in this final know that that's going to be the case. But for those of us that have played in a few of them, then yeah, you're not surprised by it. You're not really paying attention to it. It's just part of the show.
Curl for nose. Hard.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's important to acknowledge it right off the bat.
That's okay.
It's really hard just to try to ignore it the whole time. And honestly, I feel like most of the time after a couple ends, you forget it's there in the first place.
Shabasir erects the guard and pushes those to two semi-center guards. These ends always end up interesting, Ben, because it messes with the draw paths, but they're not really corners at the same time. So now it's thinking outside the box, battling for position.
Hey,
Yeah, it kind of forces the teams into paths they haven't seen before.
Line's really good.
Weight's good. 6.
5.
6. Got a little room. Whoa, line's good. Line's good. Straight side.
5.
Right to me, bench. Clean. Whoa, whoa.
Out turn, come around.
Go, Jack.
Beauty.
Jack Wentland, he's been very solid early.
He's been a real rock for this team. He's been setting up every end. I've seen very few ends from him where he hasn't put his team in a good spot early in the end.
Cenzalli playing the run.
Wait. Little room.
Just maybe up normal.
Close. Yep. Hard. Hard.
That one just took off a little on him. I think surprised him on the curl.
That's good.
Yeah, judging by that line call, he looked a little surprised, so maybe just a little extra curl,
10.
more than they were
like
expecting.
I think that's the best. Back
Heard
4.
10 was the call from Wendling after the shot, so maybe just a hair down from what they were trying to throw. I think they were going for at least normal, so maybe just a little misread on the weight. Didn't see the curl coming. Here is Benji Peril.
Where?
7.
Straight.
A pedestrian amount of curl compared to some of his teammates, or rotation, I should say. More curl.
Hard.
Still more than the average, I would say,
Oh, yes.
but a little more
Yep,
controlled.
Yes. Oh, hard. Yep.
That's 6.
Yep, hard, Jack.
Nice
Hard,
line here.
Hard. Keep going. Make the double hard. Keep going. Okay, pretty good, bud.
Right to the top of the forefoot. Great shot by
I really
Peril.
curl up there. There's top 4 weight as well.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I wasn't totally sure if they were trying to just play the straight draw or play the tick off the right one and kind of roll under the guard, but either way, a good result.
The conversation led you to believe maybe they were trying to catch a piece.
Yep.
But that result, probably better. Less
Yeah.
chance of setting up a double.
Yes. Whoa. 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 No.
You don't want to completely bury here on the roll, but it does go underneath. You can make it with a run, but leaving a piece sticking out probably would have been a good thing. You can use it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It makes the run a little easier, though, and it's a little trickier maybe for Team Abear to put a rock in a good spot here. Not a ton of places to go to, but I like this call here, just
I like it.
freezing on the
Stagger
corner,
off of him.
basically taking away the run that would get rid of the one on the forefoot.
Yeah, just a little less.
No more broom.
Peril trying to come around that guard and
5.
freeze on the rock in the top of the 8-foot. Make that run a little less dangerous.
Hard, GB. Really got to go line.
This one over curling right now.
Hard.
That's going to click the guard and open things up on that path.
Just really tight and light.
Now a chance for Cenzalli to
Do we ever try this again?
either freeze or hit and roll. What do you prefer here, Ben?
I like hack. We can try.
I think I like the chase with a hack type of weight. You could throw up another freeze, but it's thirds rocks now, so I feel like it's late enough that you can
Stay close.
try to sit two, especially when given this opportunity. You know, you get a miss out of the opposition, and making this shot almost hurts the other team more. You know, it makes them pay for their miss a little bit more.
I agree. I think it's probably a rock too high to play the freeze too. If that was deeper on the button, then maybe you think about freezing and there's nowhere for your opponent to go.
Yep.
Really hard.
Just a little bit on the wide side though,
okay.
and now moves their own off
Yeah,
of the
you're
top
good.
of the 8-foot and sets up an opportunity for Abear to come in.
I thought it'd curl a little more than that too.
It'd be a chance for one of our favorite curling terms, a Christmas tree.
I've been curling good in this spot.
Yeah, I think they want to bury this one completely actually too. Even if you show what they can see right now, there's not a lot they can do with it.
Yeah, and fully buried, you're only going to be showing probably a quarter at most of the back one.
Right.
Line's pretty good.
Not a
Just
lot.
five.
Jackson Bestland playing that out turn draw.
Easy.
Line's good.
Okay, line's
Gotta
good.
curl up a
Whoa.
little.
Curl. Curl. Hard jack.
Hard curl.
Trying to get it to finish
Hard
to
curl.
get at least a
Whoa,
piece
gotta go.
underneath now.
Curl.
Really gotta curl, Jack.
Curl, 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 curl.
Dead
Yep,
frozen.
Yep. Not bad.
Yeah, might be able to get both of those moving now. It's a matter if
Can we
that
throw it again?
top one jams on the side.
Yeah, it looks like it will definitely touch it. It's just a matter if they could get it spinning up and out.
Yeah, maybe can't quite see enough to
Other
play
option is
weight at it.
this.
That's what we're looking at.
It jams. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, I don't mind the run. It's one of those shots. I mean, you want to make it. It's late enough that you really want to make it, but just peeling it off and opening it up might give you some options.
So I'm playing the run. I kind of like this. At least open things up.
And like I said, one of Team Cenzalli's strengths is the run back.
Hard.
Looked like Laffer got that one going a little bit out of hands.
Hard.
Sweeper's trying to hold it, but it's pretty much right where that one was thrown. You could just see it on the release.
Yep.
And shooter rolls over to cover it completely. So all systems go now for Abear.
Yeah, big opportunity here. It's a couple options. I'm curious what you like. You could come around the center here, stack three on top of each other, or you could maybe come to the left corner guard and freeze that to sit third.
Dead nose.
Yeah, I kind of like the freeze on that yellow. I don't really like bunching them like you said, because if they make contact with anything on the first try at it, there may only be one left under there afterwards, and if there's still two, then the run's available again.
Not a lot of
Where?
Yeah, that freeze I think is really good.
Top 8.
Line's good.
They're just so
Easy,
well
Jack,
set up
close.
right now where they're at under that center.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
That's
think
big.
the freeze under the corner accomplishes a couple things. It
Easy then.
one spreads out your rocks
car.
with
Hard.
hammer, which is always
Whoa,
something
whoa.
you want to do, and then
Whoa.
second, it makes the
Let it
run
sit.
less rewarding
Let it sit,
for
Ben.
Team Cenzalli, and they've already shown that they are going to play the run.
My bad, JV.
Yeah, and I think all three go if you make the run now too, the way those angled. Unless the top two drag, there's a little separation.
Right?
We'll listen in.
Try to get rid of them all. Okay. Throw it. Peel there.
All right, Wes, we'll see what you got in the tank here. Trying to clear all three with this run.
Just nose.
Pretty close, maybe just the slightest bit high, but nose is very close. Nose probably good.
Yeah, and two going for sure. Not 100% sure where that middle one's going, but I think they'd be pretty happy eliminating a couple at this point.
My thought is they all go because of those striking bands too. Even with a little bit of drag, I think that still goes out.
Yeah, I've certainly been surprised watching these games how far these rocks can go with how lively they are.
Big run back, possible triple for Wendling. Could be a momentum shift.
Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Got to
Chris.
get up a little bit. Gets two. Third one goes out enough that they're sitting first and third. Really good shot there by Wendling. That was a quarter inch from all three going.
Yeah, still a great result, though. It does get some damage control. Situation looking a lot more manageable now for Team Cenzalli. They can always hit that right one now. They don't have to worry about giving up more than two.
Freeze and tap it top of the inch. Try to throw like back forward.
Yeah, back forward.
Yeah.
And we gotta bump it though. I think. I don't hate
Not only does he act like Kevin Cooey, he makes runbacks like Kevin Cooey.
Out turn too.
Yeah. Cooey's specialty.
Back four. Okay. We gotta tap it like a foot.
So still a chance for two here for Abear if they can move that stone a foot, as you heard Caden say.
Get it right.
Three's not really in the picture with the number 2 counter being wide open over there, but would love to set up a chance for a 2-point end. Out turn, bump. Caden Hebert, his first of the fourth.
Line's good. Little room.
See in the background there, Team Giroux took a 3 back in the fourth. That game now tied 4-4.
Whoa. Curl.
Another
Nice.
roller coaster game for Giroux
Hard
coming
curl.
up.
Hard curl.
That rock goes straight by with that bump attempt.
Oh, that's not West. Sorry, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm not sure what weight they called, but I would imagine that was just on the weight. I think they were just trying to throw like a heavy draw type of weight and threw closer to hack, so it just stayed a little bit straighter. Big momentum shift in this end for sure.
That center line unforgiving when it comes to speed.
Nose is fine. Yeah, I agree.
So Wendling obviously playing to take this red out, but if they can roll in center, it can really put pressure on Abear here. You get aggressive at this one, Ben.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Close.
Close shot, close.
Curl.
Trying to get it to turn over to roll.
Outside.
Hard to roll.
And just ends up on the nose. Boy, if that rolls into the 4-foot, it's a tough score for Abear. Now they have a way in.
Draw all the way around.
It's all preference now for Abear, whichever shot he likes.
Yeah, we saw him in that first end elect to take the same path as his first rock for his second, just having a little bit more familiarity with it. So it looks like he's going to do the same thing here.
Yeah, good to throw the same path, even though you didn't make the previous shot. You're familiar with it, and again, it's just whichever you feel most comfortable throwing. There's 3 or 4 different shots you can play to score. So we'll play this out turn draw.
Trying for 30 here.
Second time this game, Caden Hebert throwing against 3 on his last shot.
Little room. Got a little room.
Still riding the center line.
Okay, easy.
Needs to
Can't go
turn.
then.
Whoa, can't go.
Curl maybe, Jack.
Curl.
Still not off the center guard.
Curl. Whoa.
Oh,
Straight,
just
straight,
touches the
straight.
guard.
Straight hard.
How many will it be? Well, that may be 3. It's at least 2. That weight was all there as it was, Ben. I think if it doesn't touch the guard, it's probably 3 anyways.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar weight to his first.
So maybe a double measure. I think I'm going to go with both yellows on this one. So this counts for 2, right? Oh, they're pulling that one out.
Maybe.
So it is 2 so far.
2. It's 2 at least, but I think it's 3.
Good. Good in.
A measure for a 3rd point. You sticking with yellow too, Ben?
I think I'm with you on this one, yeah.
We got a little help from Cenzalli, who was pretty
He seemed pretty
definitive
confident.
on the call.
Yeah. It's always good to sound confident as a vice when you're making those calls, but just based off of his body language, it looked like it was yellow.
So already 2 on steal for Team Cenzalli. This measure for a 3rd point. See where the needle goes. That will be yellow. So a steal of 3. Team Cenzalli now leads 5-1 after 4 ends of play. Big steal of 3 for Team Cenzalli, now leading 5-1 after 4 ends in this 2024 U21 USA Curling Men's National Championship. Tyler George with Ben Richardson. Ben, unfortunate there for Abear, had the same look, 2 shots in a row, and just never got that rock off the center line. It's such a sensitive path until it gets across center. And again, that little extra rotation on the stone holds that line more than the others. That's something I'm sure they're accounting for. But just took forever to get off that line, and I think the weight may have been a factor too, as with the redirect, it still went to back 8 weight.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly how much more or less weight that was than his first, but it certainly looked at least like the same amount of weight, and I think you needed to, again, throw that more like a heavy draw type of weight. Even if you throw it through the port and you throw T-line weight, you probably still make the shot.
Clean.
Shabasiri right to the top of the 4-foot now. Start off this end, and Wendland gets the corner guard up. So for Team Abear, Ben, what's your between ends conversation to try to regroup?
All you can do at this point, I think, is just focus the group on the next end, the mission at hand. There's no reason to freak out. It's a 10-end game. You got plenty of time. All you need to do is just focus on generating some points, generating some offense, which this team is very good at doing.
2, 3. Curl it. Curl.
Curl hard.
Hard curl. Hard.
Basiri trying to guard the stone that he
center
threw
line.
for his
Hard
first.
for center line. Hard, stay on it. Good sweep.
Doesn't quite get there to cover it up, but as a center guard.
I like it. Top 4.
Okay.
Another thing I think important for Abear to remember is obviously getting a big end here would be nice, but just go for your 2. You don't need to play too aggressively. Definitely want to play on the aggressive side, but that's why I don't mind this call coming around the corner. You don't need to throw up a couple corners yet. I wouldn't hate that call either, but I feel like as long as you get your 2, you're right back in it. Momentum's back on your side.
And going back to curling math we talked about too, Ben, with a 4-point deficit, 6 ends to play. You get your 2 now with 5 ends left. You get a force. You're down 6-3, get your 2 again in the 8th. You're down by 1. So it's not going to take something extraordinary to get back in. Just need to, as you said, just keep chipping away. Get your 2s where you can. If you find a 3, great, but that's the key for this end, is focus on getting your 2. Don't overextend.
Over curling.
Just find a way to get back in the game.
Yeah, it's still early enough. You can treat that 3 as a bonus.
Roll it.
Go for the 2. Any more than that is a bonus.
I don't know how I did it, but that pick.
A little bit of daylight there on that stone in the top of the 4-foot. Abear wants to move that a little bit.
Okay. I like moving it.
Just as Team Abear needs to stay focused here, so does Team Cenzalli. Can be easy when you get a lead like this early to kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit, but this is a final. It's not over until it's over.
You see a little synchronization between
Really big.
the men's and women's games, both coming out of the hack at the same time.
Whoa. Big. Clean, yep. Yep.
I like the call trying to move this stone too, Ben.
Clean. Yep. Yes, roll, gotta go.
Nice roll under the corner too.
Oh, beautiful
Whether
shot.
you're just tapping or
Right,
hitting,
really good,
that stone where it's positioned, you have to move it at some point. You knew that you had it accessible right now. You may not get that chance again already with 2 guards up there. I like taking the opportunity to move it at that point. Now you're forcing your opponent to play this run. You can always come under the centers again afterwards, regardless of if this run is made. So good call there from Abear. Not a bad shot there from Cenzalli if this gets off the paint, and it does. It's a good shot by Nick.
Top 4.
Think so. We got like half of this, right? Gotta stay top 4.
Okay.
Full 8.
Yeah, a couple options now. You could come around the corner again, but again, Team Cenzalli played their cards. They're almost 100% going to be playing that run back again that they just made really well. So come around the centers. There's a little bit of a stagger, so it's not a really easy run back for them to play. Spreads out the rocks a little bit as well.
And you heard Abear say just top 4. They know they can't go any deeper than that because they'd leave the double. So even just biting top 8 under this line would be a good shot.
Yeah, even full 12.
Good
result.
We gotta go. Hard, got a house. House. Keep going. Okay,
It does get to the paint, so not a bad result at all there. I'd much rather have that higher than deeper.
Take a breath. You're good.
Boy, an aggressive call here if they do play that run, or the draw round, excuse me.
Yeah.
I like hack too here. You can't see a lot of it, but you have a 4-point lead, and in worst case, you're moving that guard, and that always gives you a way in besides opening that stone up.
Yeah, I was also a little caught off guard by that initial call, but I like this better. Couple options. This is a shot where you can afford to miss it a certain way
I'm fine with it.
and still be okay.
Make it nice.
Nah. Let's just throw a peel.
So playing the run instead, nothing wrong with that
Peel off
either.
nose.
Anything towards that stone is a good shot.
Could even hit this thin and direct it onto the one that they just threw.
Sure.
Top 12.
A lot of options here.
Close. Wait. Whoa. Curl. That's fine.
Ends up just peeling it off and doesn't get either, but now that stone open, so that gets you out of most of the trouble.
Gotta be like full little late again.
Yeah, and
Okay.
typically you'd
Can't
see
let 'em-
Team
can't let
Abear
'em
come
off
around
here.
those
Yeah.
centers.
A little late.
But with that one on the left, you got to be careful leaving some kind of a double off of it or a hit and roll.
I wouldn't mind even throwing this to the back 12-foot. So you're really not leaving any double, and you're just daring your opponent to make that hit and roll. If they don't, you come around and you got them in jail.
Mine's really good.
Yeah, certainly a
Just 5.
bit of an unconventional call, but I'm with you. I think that's a great any type of shot that can tempt your opponent into playing a more aggressive shot with a lead. I think it's something you want to go for.
Got a curl.
Yep, 15-5.
Really good line on this one.
Clean.
Looks like good weight control as well. I don't think this is going to be deeper than the left.
Oh, that's really well placed. Great shot.
Oh, wait.
That's so good with that line to place that top 8 and not leave a double.
I love what I'm seeing from this Abear team after giving up that big momentum shift of a steal. They don't look shook at all. They're placing their draws perfectly, staying sharp. Looks like the same team that I saw a couple ends ago.
Dan Loffer, after that great out-turn come-around draw by Jackson Bestland.
Yep.
Really important role now. If Loffer can get this.
Whoa, straight. Straight.
No, it's just over curled at the end.
That's me. Sorry, D.
That's a big missed call there. If that's made, it's locked in there. Underneath 4 stones staggered.
This way.
Yeah, now a chance for them to wrap another one
I
around.
think so.
Really put the pressure on Team Cenzalli.
Yeah, 35.
This might be the point in the end where you're maybe a little less satisfied to get 2. Now you're really going for that 3-point end or more.
Not a lot to add.
Okay, line's good. Yep.
In-turn come-around draw for Bestland after that beauty he made on his first.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just Benji's rock.
Whoa, just 5.
A little
Easy,
more
whoa,
room on
whoa.
this one.
Got to curl a mile.
Looks a little up.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Can't be back.
Whoa. Gotta be top.
It's going to stop right about on the button. So decision time for Wendling. Looking like they're thinking, let's freeze to get ourselves out of this.
Little bump's fine.
Yeah, Wes is he can make those hits really well, but I feel like his comfort zone is usually the touch shots, those draws, so he feels like this is his best way to get out of this end.
Yeah, you're playing risk-reward to a certain degree with this shot, but the angles just don't play really well for the run. So you're talking about not just making a freeze, but if you throw it anywhere from top 8 to frozen or even a little tap, it's a pretty good result. It's going to be tough to remove that stone.
Yeah, I mean, this is a precise shot, but there's actually a little bit more room for error than there seems to be.
Feels good. Hair down. Wait then.
Whoa.
Little room.
Always curl. Can you curl it?
I really don't want to bounce off on this line.
Little bump's good. Curl.
It's all about the weight now. The line's fine.
Hard curl.
Hard.
A good sweep. Not a bad shot, but they did leave some space to pick that stone out.
Yeah, sorry. What'd you clock? 20?
Yeah, just maybe a little heavier than they were looking for, but it's still a good result because even if they pick it or roll away,
Maybe hack it out, right?
Wes can play a very similar shot and freeze to that back 4 rock if he wants to on his last.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to play it with the score the way it is and just lay it out there, say, okay, you're freezing for your life. But they also, if you play this really delicate,
He'll probably freeze. I won't have much.
you could try to move your back one too, so that freeze doesn't play to something that kills your
I was
end.
also thinking that.
Yeah, that would be a nice bonus for sure if you could deal with that back one. At the same time, though, if you just hit and roll away and sit 4, there's a 4 rocks that Wes would be looking at on his last. Would have to make a good one.
Try to get inside.
Yeah, there's a little chip with that red stone
I like back line.
going sideways. If we get a little overhead shot, maybe we can see exactly how thin that is.
Push it over. Yeah, make the freeze.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was wondering if Wes made the freeze perfect on his first, whether or not they could play that chip shot and kind of raise it.
Yeah, that's
maybe like a hack or board.
That's
boardish
definitely
type of weight.
there.
Yeah.
Maybe a quarter stone, third of a stone would be good. So that maybe you're saving that one for your last.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I wouldn't mind just saving that as a backup plan.
So you can see a piece of that stone from the hack for sure. So in turn, trying to chip this stone through the hole.
Hard. Hard,
Caden Hebert holding the line for now, needs to get by. Does get by. Jams on the back and sits in the back of the forefoot.
Sorry, good sweep.
I don't hate soft, but if you like control, I
Now a
like control.
chance
Okay.
Even
all of a
nose is
sudden
fine.
Oh, you have 100. I'm sorry.
Nose the worst he does
for
is
Wendling to get out of this.
2. I like
I didn't
rolling
realize
it.
you had 100. I'm good with control.
We can play it a hair tighter though. Play it a
Still
hair
have to be
tighter, though.
careful with this shot, though. If you ever were to nose it, probably still leaves a shot for at least 2 for Team Abear. So really want to try to get an inside roll if possible.
I like control.
That nose might leave a triple for 4 if it ever makes contact with that back
His
one
nose
too.
is good.
That's true. I didn't even look at that.
So really need to get inside, but obviously can't be outside either. So
Yeah.
just one you got to make
Control.
if you're Wendling.
Nose if
Get
you can
aggressive
roll
at
in the
this.
straights.
So probably I think we heard control, so a lot of weight for this shot. But final stone of the first half. Wes Wendling.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's holding the line for now. I think it needs to curl.
Hard curl! Hard curl! Hard
This is going to be nose. Jams the back. It takes that one out at least. Rolls the back 12. So that triple might be there.
It's just a double, it's fine, right?
Yeah, just the double's good. Don't worry about the triple. Straight on to this one.
Really like what I heard there from Caden. He said, make the double, don't worry about the triple. I think we talked about that in an earlier game. When you're playing these triples,
Right here?
often if you just focus on making the double, you make the triple.
Okay.
Just
I
makes it
think-
a little
Get the double
simpler.
first, right?
They're a little unfortunate with where that red one ended up in the back 12 too. That now might jam for the triple
Yeah.
with where you need to hit that. It might go over the top still. It's close.
It also might touch it and both rocks roll out, which would then result in the top 12 one counting and you get your 2.
So maybe, possibly a triple for 3 for Abear. Hear this place go nuts if this is made. Final stone. First half of this championship final. Caden Hebert.
Whoa, curl, 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 curl. Go over the top.
It just stuffs in. So it'll be a steal of 1. Cenzalli now leading 6-1 at the break. Halfway through, that means it's time for the Broomfitters break. Broomfitters.com is the place for good curling gear and fast shipping on everything curling. For a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit broomfitters.com. Thank you, Broomfitters, for your continued support. Coming out of the fifth end break, taking a look over at our feature, or the women's final, excuse me, not our feature game. See the scoreboard after Johnson took 3 in the third. Giroux answered with a 3 of their own and a steal of 2 in the fifth. That game being played at a much quicker pace now, and they're already on skip stones in the sixth, so we'll keep you updated on what's happening over there. Back with our feature game. Caden Hebert now trailing 6-1 with Hammer. Nick Cenzalli, Wes Wendling, trying to zero in on this national championship. Tyler George with junior national champion Ben Richardson. And Ben, it's always faster after the break. John Landsteiner forgets that from time to time. I have to remind him. But I should say that I got a text from Landsteiner a little while ago asking if I watched their game against Switzerland earlier today, which Landsteiner played in, of course, at the World Championships. I said I kind of had a side eye on it while we were doing the broadcast, and he said, well, I reminded you after the fifth end break that it's quicker after the mop. I'll have to watch that back and check it out, but I appreciate him reminding me so that I remembered it for this broadcast now.
It's just as important for the commentator to remember as the curlers.
Yeah, it's important for him to remind me to remind people, I think, is what he was saying. And just in case you thought that joke was falling on deaf ears, Steiner is well aware of the ongoing joke. Our USA men 1-1 after 2 games, the big win over Switzerland in their first draw, and took the loss to defending world champions from Scotland, Bruce Mowat, in the second game. So not a bad start at all for our boys over there.
Yeah, if you're going to drop a game, dropping it to the reigning world champions isn't the worst thing in the world.
Not a bad thing at all.
Keep going, Ben. Keep going. All the way. Really good.
And you see once again Jack Wendland. He's been near flawless really for Team Abear, setting him up best he can.
Very aesthetically pleasing look to the start of this end from both leads. Perfect come-arounds from both.
Yeah, no problem with the fifth end break mop for these leads.
Line's good.
We had somebody ask us last night at dinner. One of the curlers came by and said, why is it always faster after the break in that mop? What is it? And head ice maker Sean Olison was with us and said, if you figure it out, you let us know. It's a mystery, always has been. We don't know. And as he said, it seems like it should be slower in that situation after the ice sits for a bit, but not the case. So we'll stop rattling on about the mop, but life's great mystery remains.
Back line. Whoa. Really big.
Benji Peril. Abear desperately trying to get something going, and Ben, I think it's a little bit different mindset now, whereas if you just get the 2 in the fifth end and cut it to a 2-point deficit, you feel you're right back in this game. Now down 5, I think the desperation mode where you're going all out has to start setting in.
Yeah, I think at this point you need to start playing a little bit more aggressively for that crooked number on the scoreboard. But if the last end was proof of anything, it's proof that it is very much a possibility. Later in that end, they were looking at potential 3 or 4, so no reason they can't do it again.
Cenzalli makes the run. Really well done. Little fist pump there from Nick. Now that's Matt Hamilton reminiscent there. That sideways slide and the fist pump.
Yep.
That's like carbon copy right there.
We'll have to get a side-by-side at some point and compare the two.
The double that Matt made in the 7th end of our final in the Olympics, he did that move almost exact, like sliding sideways. I got flashbacks there.
It's a good look. Good look.
Room.
Just short. To it, bumping. Bumping. T, bumping.
Gotta grind. Just gotta grind. Pretty good.
Peril Comes back with a good draw freeze on the next one there. Good adjustment by Benji.
You like the freeze? Is that or we just guard one? I like a one. 1, 2.
One.
So just a guard now from
Line's good.
Dan Loffer. I think they know there really isn't much way in.
Line's good. Line's good.
Really good, 2.
Higher the better. Higher the better. Line's good.
Yeah, one of those rare times when a team with a 5-point lead can actually play a little aggressively.
Leave it. Whoa. No, not really.
Team Abear has some work to do here to deal with those 2 stones that were set up so perfectly early in the end.
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive with the 5-point lead to be guarding in this situation, but that's just a really smart play by Wes Wendling, recognizing the rocks lined up and where they're at in the end. If we throw the guard, what do they do?
Yeah, it's one of those situations you don't want to do the work for your opposition. You recognize that they have the work to do. They have to make a couple runbacks to even be able to score. So why help out your opposition by playing those shots for them?
I can catch a piece of it with like back 8, back line.
Yeah, I like back 8.
Okay.
Try to get to this one.
Okay.
If we're on this one, it's not the worst.
Yeah. I'll just give you like a 25, 30, probably 30.
So just trying to move these stones around in any way they can. Try to set something up for later in the end. Unfortunately for Team Abear, all the guards are yellow. So there's nothing they could even try to angle a set up for a run-in for an extra point after Cenzalli made that run on his second.
No ad. Close.
Yeah, if they're able to push one of those yellows out of the button and roll and keep their shooter around, that's probably the best result. But boy, is it tough. You can only see a sliver of both.
Yeah, you just got to hope it catches the right spot and rolls wide.
Keep going.
Hard roll, bench.
Hard bench. Keep going. Hard bench. Gotta go.
That's better than it was. That's not bad. But just so little to work with. At the very least, now they've changed the angles where a run with the yellow into the red takes both yellows out.
If you roll out,
Yeah, hard to do much better. I mean, it's a pretty good shot. It would have been nice to roll that shooter a little further so that this hit through the hole isn't there. But like you said, now the work for Team Abear to get rid of those 2 yellows has become a little bit easier.
wait.
10-5.
Curl. Hard curl.
Get to the 4-foot line.
Hard to stay.
Out turn hit through the hole for Loffer.
You're good.
Just picks the stone out, rolls out. Didn't have any need to stick around there.
Yeah, I was going to say that might almost be better than trying to stick around somewhere. Could be a rock that Abear could use.
It's probably the
It's here
freeze,
now.
right?
It's here.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah.
Think
Yeah, you
so.
could decide to run here, which looks like they're electing to play, and maybe play your rocks a little bit more around the center and generate some offense there. It's late enough that you probably need to worry about getting rid of those yellows. So I like this call.
Yep.
Jackson Bestland
Hard.
playing the run back. Looks close.
Good, JB.
That's
shot.
pretty good. Sitting shot rock. Not much more Jackson could do with that. He's had a solid game, too.
And I like where his shooter ended up, too. It's that yellow was fully buried around it, but certainly able to run that red in if need be.
Peanut Gallery's getting a little chilly out there, apparently.
I'll figure
Stewart hanging on strong with the T-shirt.
I like this.
That's impressive.
Hack. A little more.
You don't have to look that tough, Stu. It's okay to put a sweatshirt on.
We already know how tough you are.
We know, yeah.
Yeah, this is fun.
You like this, Ben, with this weight as opposed to playing the run?
I think if you're confident in it, I like it. It's hard to tell how much you can see from the hack, but don't have to worry too much about keeping your shooter around. It would be nice, but with a 5-point lead, if you're able to see an opposition rock, I think you get rid of it.
Wendling's first here in 6. You want to be on the tight side, if anything. If you move the guard over, it's not a bad result. How to make contact, though.
Hard curl.
Still needs the curl. It's going to catch a piece, but how much?
Sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, just chips it to the button. Just not the side you wanted to be on with that. I'm surprised it curled as much as it did, actually. They got that to turn over quite a bit.
Yeah, good sweep to make contact with that rock.
I don't know that that helps. I mean, now it opens that draw path up, so they can come right into the 4-foot again. You might be playing that red-yellow run.
And again, the nice thing with that run back by Jackson is they're going to be running the red into the pile, not your own color.
Yeah, there may be space to play that yellow one in too. It's your last, so it doesn't really matter what you leave, but
not the angle that you would ideally be coming in from, though.
Caden Hebert maybe with the door open to find a 3, get his team back in this. Out turn, come around, draw.
Straight. Little tight. Straight. Little tight. Line's good now.
Line's good, bench.
Distance. Look. Distance.
6.
Okay, hard distance then.
Look, bench. Look, bench.
That line's really
16.
good here.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yes, bench.
Distance,
4
hard.
foot. Hard bench. Hard bench, gotta go.
Need this to be shot now. Got to get to 4-foot.
Good sweep, boys.
And great shot.
Sweet, Benji, let's go.
Now that yellow run is there for the double.
It just knows.
Dead on the beak.
Yeah, they're looking at it.
Great. I don't know where else we're going.
Really isn't a better shot. I mean, that's your shot.
I think I like it.
Yeah, if you play the red run,
I like it. Just peel.
very good chance that you're going to get rid of at least
Pretty much
one,
knows.
but be nervous about where that
can
guard
hold
would
me
end
here.
up in the house somewhere. It could still leave a shot for 3, so I like this.
Yep,
Just treat it like a nose hit.
yep, that's exactly what it is.
Peel. Just nose.
Hope to get one of them. 2 would be a bonus, but dead on the beak, and they both go.
At
Could
least
maybe
one.
catch this a little bit high and make the yellow yellow as well.
Nose should be good.
I think they'd be pretty happy just to get rid of one red at this point.
Yep.
So Wes Wendling, defending national champion Skip, with a chance to keep his team out front. Run back double.
Close. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Close.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Curl.
Curl.
Needs to get up just a little bit. Good enough to get one of them. I think Wes would be happy with that. I think before the end, if you said red was getting 2, they probably would have been okay with it. So very important to get that 1 stone out.
Almost got really unlucky and just made the double on the yellows, but hit that just thin enough to get rid of one.
I wonder if they even looked at, with how much rotation they throw consistently, if you could split that red one on for 3. It's a ways out.
I was going to say it's a little bit more distance than ideal, but could be there.
They will just be throwing the draw. Final stone. 6th end. Caden Hebert
Line's good.
Line's good.
just needs paint
Line's
for their
good.
second point.
Line's great.
Line's good. Line's good.
Plenty of line, not a problem on
clean.
that end of things.
Whoa, whoa.
Just clean. 15-4. Clean.
Sweepers valet this one in. That will be 2 for Abear. So they cut the deficit to 3 now, 6-3 after 6 ends of play.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Back for our feature matchup, the men's championship game, the U21 2024 USA Curling Men's National Championship. Caden Hebert with a 2 in the 6th. Climbing back into this, now down 6-3. Wes Wendling has hammer. And Ben, we mentioned in the break, this is really the key end of the game to me, where if you're able to put up a point even in this end, just score, don't give up any steals, that this is the momentum end. You feel like you're really closing in. Otherwise a steal and then things start to tighten up a little bit more.
Yeah, this is one of those ends. Team Abear really needs to go all out for that steal. Team Cenzalli is going to be really happy just to score anything. You know, my team loves to talk about those between end goals, what we're looking to do, and in this situation we would just say score. Just make sure we post a point. Do whatever it takes.
Line's good.
And speaking of steals, you see the score on the ticker.
Line's good.
Women's final. Ali Giroux has stolen again and now leads 7-4 over Allery Johnson. After trailing 4-1, they've rattled off 6 straight points.
Top 4.
Playing the 7th end in that matchup.
Good. Really good.
I know, but I needed room.
So Giroux, after stealing in the 10th end of the national semifinal against Ava Chapman, now all of a sudden up 3, 4 ends to play in the championship game.
Come here. For sure. Come here. I got it, Katie. I got it.
Bit of a panic sweep right away, but I think it's okay.
Curl. Hard carve. Hard carve, keep going.
Wendland gets his 2 in play again.
Benji panicked a little there.
This is where those lead shots are so important, especially for Team Cenzalli. Keep it above the T line, create as much work as possible for Team Abear to generate that steal.
Yeah, very soon.
First one was placed perfectly by Shaw. See if he can get another one. Just top 4 probably, just maybe tuck a piece around that top 8 rock.
Gotta go. Top 4.
In-turn draw from Shah Basiri.
Right here. Just put it here.
Curl it. Curl it.
Plenty of room right now.
Just here.
Can we curl?
Whoa. Just leave it here. Okay, that's fine.
It's gonna go into the top 8.
I'll bring you better.
Just wide.
I think Wes said on that, I'll broom you better, thinking maybe
Also just freeze.
either he gave too much or he's seeing that release from Shaw one way or the
That's
other.
pretty nice right now, though.
It's really good feedback to hear as a shooter, though.
Yeah, not where you were, I'll broom you better.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, good 11. $10-5.
Whoa.
10-5.
Curl. Hard.
Control weight hit
Hard, GB.
for Benji Peril, trying to get to the inside. Stays open, so time to start clearing some granite now for
10-0.
Cenzalli. There's Coach
That's just-
Mike Poplinski, Eau
You gotta-
Claire
you gotta
zone.
slow down.
Mike, former junior national champion in his own right, Olympian.
Yeah, you really just got to find it within yourself.
Had Mike in the booth a few times this week. Great curling mind, and
Yeah.
really fun to get his insights and get a lot of background on some of the junior teams here too. Mike knows about.
Whoa. Close.
Just the one.
Whoa. You're good.
It was my bad slide. Sorry.
You're good.
So peel made by Cenzalli, was maybe having a go at the run in too, but ended up hanging. There's Coach James Wendling. Talked to him a little bit during the week, said he was relatively new to this, but was really enjoying the ride. And he's I like that he's such a sponge too for information. Like you work with a lot of coaches in this game that feel like this is my team, I'm going to coach them my way, and they don't really take a lot of input, but he's the first to come up to anyone to get more information and listen in, and you know, he's trying to do the most he can for his squad, and that's the way you want to handle coaching a team. Always get as much info as you can from whatever sources you can.
Yeah, you never want to be set in your ways as a coach, especially in a sport where things are always changing.
Right.
I'll try and slide straight. You got it.
These kids have had a good year this year. Ella was a bronze medalist in the Youth Olympics this year, and Wes, of course, making the playoffs and having a 4th place finish at the World Juniors.
Whoa, whoa.
Must be a proud father.
Cenzalli taking another run at this slash run in, but just makes the peel. That's the right side to be on. Just, you know, having a go at the one in the house too, but as long as you make the peel, it's simple shots for the most part the rest of the way.
Okay. 80.
Jackson Bestland playing the intern. Just trying to replace that guard again, making Cenzalli waste some more stones.
Hard, Jack, you gotta go. Keep going. All you, Jack, come on. Hard, Jack. Hard, Jack,
Wendland and Peril trying to drag this one over the hog line. It's not going to get there.
Good sweep, guys.
That's going to make things a lot more difficult now for Abear on the steal. Open intern hit. Dan Loffer. Saw Wendling signal to roll away.
Close.
Don't want to bunch things up in the center now.
Whoa, whoa. Close. Curl. Curl. Hard curl. Hard curl. Whoa.
We'll roll away. It should keep the paint. That's
Really good.
very well done by Loffer.
Something I've noticed with Daniel in this game is he's done a really good job of capitalizing on the misses from his opponent. Anytime Jackson has had maybe even just a half miss, not quite making their shot, Daniel has usually come up with a really good one.
Just wrap all the way.
Yeah, Daniel's been solid.
Don't hate this freeze.
That shot through the port earlier in the game really was one of those momentum turners.
Really like
Even
this freeze.
early on, it changed the flow of that end.
Yeah.
But top 8.
Yeah, set the tone early for the game.
Yeah.
Bestland now trying to
Mine's good.
rebound from that last stone.
Little room.
A lot of room. Bench, go ahead.
Just gotta move.
Okay, go. Hard bench. Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Coming around that center guard,
Distance.
Curl.
trying to get to a freeze.
Curl bench, gotta go.
Hard bench.
Hard
Hard.
bench.
Hard
freeze
to it. Hard.
Hard bench.
Hard.
Yeah, good shot there from Jackson. Nice rebound.
Sweet.
Can we ever pick it?
We're like there. We
Love it.
roll there.
Make it good.
Interesting decision here for Team
Otherwise, we're
Cenzalli.
gonna nose
Looks
and
like
get rid
they're
of everything.
probably going to
Then
play
they're
the
going
nose
around, though.
run, but that would still leave a center guard. I wonder, would it ever be
Just the one.
late enough now that you could
I
just
like
try to
trying
split the
for
rings and
run.
sit
If
two?
We rip, we rip.
Or do you feel like you need to deal with
I
this
just don't
center
wanna pick-
situation?
I think
here?
I'm getting rid of that guard.
Yeah.
You're up 3 with the steal opportunity is going to be pretty tough if
We can try
you
it.
run this in. I mean, a nose is pretty
I
good.
wouldn't hate a
Try and get
timeout
the
here.
Reds.
Then you're playing yellow
I wouldn't hate a
from the
timeout.
guard all the time. They're talking about a timeout
You like
possibly.
it?
Sure.
I like the timeout here. I don't think there's a likelihood you're going to have more of a need for one with the way the score is. So we'll listen to the discussion. We've weighed in. We think that guard needs to go, but see what they say.
Like this is my call if I could choose. Is that? Yeah. Right? And then if we nose it, we get all three. If we just rip the one, we get the one. You know?
My only worry is if we try this, we're a little wide and we pick our own. And then they're just putting their guard. Granted, we'll have full 8 for 1.
Full 8 to go back up 4.
What do they do if we just straight rip? I mean,
We straight rip, they're putting another one here.
they put it back up,
Yeah, maybe they're playing that.
I mean, but then they're kind of screwed if they what do you want to do?
I'm just saying, I think it's worth it.
Straight rip, do they go here?
I think
Maybe, yeah, probably.
So you don't like the run back?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And there's no back.
that's fine. Even if we pick our own and peel it, it's fine. But let's try to get the 2 reds and roll far.
All right.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll be on the roll.
Where are you going to go for the 2?
Like there.
Looks like they are playing nose.
But with it's a little off. With peel, it should roll pretty far. I think it'll be good. You like it? Pro side nose. You like going? I like going this way. Because if we're wide, it's fine. Okay. Peel.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like this call. I think both you and I agree. You have to deal with this center guard in this situation. Straight peel is certainly fine too.
Yep.
Hard shot.
Yeah, I definitely want to err on that side, but this is curling.
Whoa.
That's fine.
That's not bad at all.
That-
Very good result. Opens the middle up completely. You're not concerned with going for 3 or 4. Now that makes the steal very difficult. You're going to need a miss now for a steal.
Yeah, with that end goal of scoring, that's a really good result. Just keeping it open. Try to give Wes as easy a shot as possible on his last.
Everybody just throw it open.
can play it and just throw it like back 4 here. If he hits it, he has to roll. I don't hit like a little offset. Well, I don't want to here just because then I'm
That's an
freezing on the
interesting
pin.
thought from
Then I'm freezing his on the
Abear.
pin. Yeah. He knows it, or
Of going back 4.
Yeah, he's talking about if we go 4 or back 4, they have to roll. If they don't, then they can roll on the last because they don't want to leave the double now, but they're perfectly fine with having them throw it on the last. I like that thought process.
back 4. Yeah.
Right in the back of the 4s, then make your opponent have to roll. If they do, you hit, and they got to play against 2. If they nose, you roll under your own. Now he's got to decide if he's playing the double against the steal instead. That's really well thought out by Abear.
Yeah, I agree.
Not too far back.
Typically in those scenarios where the skip is looking at throwing against 2, the steal is most likely when they have to throw that double versus having an open draw or just an open hit. So whatever you can do to make him throw that shot, do it.
Yeah, and you can't really throw the double on your first then if you're Wendling, because if you don't make it, now they're throwing a rock on the center.
Right.
And that steal is a little more likely yet.
Little ad.
They might take a slash at it, but
Just
it's a little more risky.
Distance.
Really impressive strategic
just
minds on the
Yeah.
sheet here.
Easy.
I like that call
Just
a lot.
Okay, just 8.
Full back 4, Jack.
15.
Whoa.
Just here, Jack. Curl a little. Curl.
And now you want
yep,
this
yep,
to
yep,
finish a little bit too.
Just one.
Hard,
Just one.
Jack.
Just one.
Hard, keep going.
Hard. Go,
keep
go,
going.
go, 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 go.
And good shot.
Yeah, pretty much right where they put their broom.
10-5. Okay. Nose is fine.
And you heard Wendling say they want to roll out wide. They still want to be shot rock. But if you roll away, now you're forcing Abear to have to hit, and you have an open shot. And you're probably just playing the nose hit on the #1 counter in the back of the house.
10-5. Nose
I
is
don't
okay.
think if you're Abear, you're ever drawing under your own if you're doing it against a 3.
Nice 10-5.
Yeah, I don't think so. You're making him throw the double, but he makes it. The game's pretty much over.
Easy, yeah.
Outturn hit. Wes Wendling
Whoa. Whoa.
trying to
whoa.
roll away.
No.
Close. Curl.
Close. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Straight.
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 Roll is anything.
Roll it.
Anything roll.
And gets the nose, so now a chance to roll underneath. We're actually talking about freezing here, too. Yeah, freeze is not a bad call. If you lock it on there, they peel out, you still steal.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a shot available to them right now that could guarantee a steal pretty much, this would be the closest to that if you make this perfectly.
Yeah, you might have been one step ahead of me on this one. I thought they'd be rolling under, but yeah, you weld on this stone. It is a risky shot, but it's your best chance of getting a steal if you lock it on. And it's definitely your only chance of stealing 2. Caden Hebert trying to lock this outturn freeze. Yellow stone in the 4-foot.
If work count, I think we just draw a pin on the right side.
Only 7. Okay, whoa then. Whoa. Gotta curl. Gotta curl a little. Really gotta curl. Curl. 15-2.
Wait, looks
curl.
close.
Curl.
Just needs to
Curl,
turn over
Jack.
now.
Curl. Hard jack. Just. Whoa. Whoa. Just frozen. Just frozen.
And ends up bumping off, so we'll have some space there.
Yeah, it looked like his weight was really close on that, just didn't quite find the right curl.
It doesn't curl a ton over here.
Okay. So do you want less or do you like it?
No,
here?
I like that.
Okay.
If anything, I'll be light.
I like this choice for West too, deciding to play the draw. You have your guaranteed score. So just throw the non-risk draw.
Okay. Fine.
His draw weight's been great all game.
Yeah, you're always only getting 2 anyways.
Yep.
And never a bad thing to get a look at a draw in case you need it later. Ideally you don't with the lead that they'll have, but
Yeah, especially late in the game too, when the ice might be starting to change.
final stone, 7th end. West Wendling, a draw to the 4-foot for 2.
Decent ad. Not a ton.
Straight. Straight.
Full 4.
Whoa.
Line's just fine.
Just go then.
Yeah, don't worry about line.
Look.
You're
Take a look.
Full 4.
just sweeping it to the
Full
4s.
4, boys. Hard.
Sweeper's trying to carry it there.
Look.
Whoa.
Look.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just settling in, and that is 2. Great draw by Wendling, great sweep. They get their 2 back. They get back to a 5-point lead, 8-3 after 7. And USA Curling would like to take this moment to thank the curling community for supporting the sport and the national organization, whether it's through your membership, donations, or volunteer hours that help our game grow. Your support makes many of our efforts possible, whether it's the webcast coverage you're enjoying right now, the Our House content platform, certification programs for instructors and officials, or the Athlete Outreach Initiative. On behalf of USA Curling, thank you for all that you do. West Wendling looking to get his team that much closer. National championship, leading 8-3 after a nice draw to the button. Their 2nd point. Caden Hebert now down by 5 with Hammer playing the 8th end. Tyler George here with WUG silver medalist, U.S. men's silver medalist, Ben Richardson. And Ben, we talked during the break about how impressive, regardless of the result, that final few stones was, the way that Caden Hebert mapped that out to set up that freeze. That was easily their best chance at stealing by playing it exactly like he did.
Yeah, that ability to map out shots that far in advance and just plan it out that in detail. I mean, to see juniors of this age being able to have that solid of strategy, it's just really impressive.
Giroux now leading Johnson 8-5 after 8 ends. 2 ends away for Team Giroux. Those ladies now, again, after getting the second life in the semifinal, making the most of it.
This is right around the time of the game for both Team Cenzalli and Team Giroux, where you start to think about the aspect of winning this thing and what that would mean to you. And as fun as those thoughts are, you really just got to park them for a couple more ends.
Yeah, and I can speak from experience, as you can too, Ben. It's the most nervous you are in these games is not when you're tied up in the 9th.
Yeah, it's got to sit.
And it's not at the beginning of the game. It's when you get ahead late and you know that it's that close and you can see the top of the podium. That's when things start to tighten up. Can you finish the game off when it's within your grasp? And both these teams right now, for Giroux and Cenzalli, you know, I wouldn't say it within earshot of them because that's the last thing you want in anybody's mind when you're trying to close a game out, but it's there. It's just there for you to take it, and this is when you have to just get tunnel vision. Focus on the little things, your routines, everything you normally do. Don't change a thing.
Little tight. Whoa. Line's fine. Straight. Line's good. Look. Whoa. Looks hot.
Little deep.
Wendling having Cenzalli throw into the rings again, trying to pile some stones up to make Abear deal with moving those stones at some point if they're going to want to score multiple points.
Yeah, good setup there. Team Cenzalli has done really well at setting up those first 3 rocks around those center guards, none of them behind the tee line.
Yeah, 25.
Just great weight control.
Couple big shots from Shabasiri there to start the end off too. Cenzalli bends another round. Benji Peril trying to tap these stones a little bit, create a pocket, something they can use.
Hard. 4. Still straight.
They're just 4. The sweeper's going to need to go if they're going to move these rocks at all.
Keep going, Jack. Keep going, Jack. Bounce it off. Good sweep, bud. Okay.
Bounces off and sits open. So now you're looking at angles if you're
Just do one.
Wendling, trying to figure out where the best play is.
Up there.
Yeah, you'd like to get rid of a couple guards if the opportunity is there, but you have enough of a lead, you can probably just afford to make the easy, simple peels, which it looks like they're doing.
Come clean this area. There's stuff down here. I heard it and felt it.
Close, yep.
Cenzalli trying to clear some granite from the front.
Whoa, whoa.
Good.
Good.
Good simple peel there from Nick. Not needing to overcomplicate things.
Good.
It's really all I'm seeing.
I would hate it with 10. Just
I mean, we
loosen them
got
up
to
a little
stick.
here.
Sounds like Team Abear may be trying to run one of these guards in now, which is not usually what you see from a team trying to steal, but those 3 rocks are in such a good position. I'm not against this at all. You really just have to try to generate some kind of offense around the center behind these guards. This may be your only way in.
Yeah, it's kind of like you. It's going to take you 2 shots to do it anyways if you don't play the guard. So you're doing it with 1 instead, as long as the shooter stays. That's pretty good.
That's a lot better.
That gives you a chance. That's very well said, Ben. Like how exactly are you going to move those stones around enough without playing the guard back in order to score multiple points?
I'd be fine with shooting this too.
Yeah, and again, really good weight choice there, just throwing about a 10-second hit.
Just control.
Don't need to play it to kill the yellows. You actually want them to stick around so you can use them for freeze opportunities.
11's fine.
Just hit it.
Stay close.
You have it. We can do the rest.
Wait. Wait. Close, yep. Hard. 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 Hard, Nick.
Lawfer playing the out turn, come around, trying to make contact, but
11-8, yeah.
ends up wrecking the guard. Does open up that red stone.
Yeah, that was the right way to air with that shot.
I don't know.
What do you think?
So Abear playing the chess match again, trying to figure out where the best spot is.
Almost. I don't like that.
Yeah, with where those reds are, it's
Never a
difficult
timeout?
to
I think so.
freeze in there or draw toward the center. So they are going to call the timeout.
I'm seeing the intern freeze to that back stone in the 8-foot. You're probably 3rd right now, but I think that's your best spot. We'll listen into the conversation, see what they think.
Yeah, just these are a pretty easy double.
Okay, I like it.
Makes this. I have off of that one all day. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I like intern, right?
Yeah, definitely. All right, cleanest path, boys.
I think that's play. So there it is. That was what we talked about, Ben. Right to that back stone. Good call by Coach Pep because he agreed with us. I mean, it has to be, right?
25 is probably close.
You overheard us talking back here.
It's a 3, so it might be a 30.
Yeah, folks, you may not know this, but when you put in a shift in the broadcast booth, you get a headset that you get to take around with you for the rest of the week, too. So we're communicating with Mike the entire time there.
Felt close. Yep.
Intern freeze here. This back stone. Jackson Bestland.
Straight.
Yeah, we talked about with this shot,
Hard straight.
it'd be nice to over curl it just a little
Hard
bit
straight, Jack.
to avoid the slash, but I'm not sure they're going to get by the guard here.
Hard, Jack. Keep going.
Yeah, it didn't quite have the weight. I think the line wasn't that bad, but
right.
Just touches that guard and
Control.
spills out to the
You like
corner.
coming this way?
I do. Shaw's like, I don't. Let him go. This is his spot.
Dan Loffer throwing the in-turn control. Got that going a little bit.
Hard, bud. All the way.
Siri trying to hold the line.
All the way hard. Hard. Hard for nose.
Really hard. Really good.
Good sweep there by Shaw to hold that. Definitely looked like
Great shot.
Loffer got that going just a touch.
Trying to kill you.
And I like Wes asking about the turn there too, if they like that way. Make sure that, because you could play it either way, it doesn't matter, whichever one the shooter likes.
Probably.
Yeah, whenever you can give your teammates a choice of turn, it's always nice to. I always appreciate it. Sometimes my out turn is feeling great and my in turn is feeling like crap, so if I can throw the out turn, I throw the out turn.
Not often.
No, not often.
Not
every now and then.
Just sometimes.
He got the call.
Okay.
Let's move this one to here.
Just 10.
10.
Okay.
Abear going to try to find 3 with their last 3 if they can. 2 at least gets you in shouting distance. Jackson Beslin.
Oh, curl.
Little positive on the release there.
Hard.
Now trying to get this one to turn over.
Hard. Really gotta go. Hard. Really gotta go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit.
Whoa.
And goes over the top, so still 3 for Wendling.
No, I think we're just doing that.
I wouldn't hate.
Actually, yeah, I think I do like this.
I think I want to make him
Thinking
throw
about
something.
ignoring that,
I don't ever
just
want to be
throwing
high
one in the
shot
house.
and chip that in.
Not against that call at all. It's late enough.
Just
You're already
top 8
sitting
here.
3.
Then he's probably throwing, I don't know, the
They got a lot of work
triple
to do to
something.
bring that left 12-foot rock into
Top
play
8.
as it is.
Even if we're at 3, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not sure if those 2 reds above the house drag. Because if
Top
they
8.
do throw this short, that might be your way in. But if they throw it to top 8s, it's really not
If we're at 3, it's fine.
there anyways.
Right.
So that's the key. You don't want to leave this short of the rings.
Top 8.
In the house, anywhere in front of that stone is a good
35?
result.
Okay. 30, 35. I like it.
Out-turn draw, Wes Wendling. Trying to get to the top of the 8-foot.
He's good. Hair hot.
Whoa, whoa. Off if it's
Well
off.
then.
Whoa. Just here. It's got to
Sweepers think it's all there already.
Let it curl.
Freeze.
Let it curl.
Freeze.
Curl. Curl. Curl right here.
That's digging now.
Really good, Wes. Curl.
Yeah, that really hit the brakes and stopped in the top of the 12-foot.
Yeah. Okay. Just keep an eye on it.
Good spot, though.
Adjust.
Doesn't outcount that left red, but I don't think they're too concerned about it.
Some sporadic, noisy fans out there.
Crowd is thinned a little bit out there. Maybe they were getting a little bit cold.
It's gotta go just a hair high.
So looking at the triple here?
I think so.
Dead nose they both go, right?
It's still going to be awfully tough to
Yeah. Dead nose. Dead nose.
score more than
Yeah, hold me on the nose.
1 playing this shot.
Yeah.
If you make the triple, I think Wes is just capping that red stone and the outside 12s on the opposite side. Well, I mean, if you get a miss there, if it wrecks, maybe that's your chance. But thought maybe they'd play those 2 reds that are almost frozen and try to either tap or have that drag into the rock in the 4-foot if they
Here,
thought
looks like
that
it
was
might be
there.
A hair low. A hair low.
Not a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
options anyways. It's not a right or wrong situation.
Yeah, I almost think at this point Team Abear needs a miss from Wes in order to score multiple points. But the way he's been
Lean.
playing,
Yep.
banking on a
Whoa.
miss at this point is
Curl,
not likely.
Curl. Curl.
Hangs out and just hairs that other stone. A little unlucky there for Abear to not lose that rock. If it doesn't touch the one in the 4s, it doubles the back one instead.
Right.
It's just really unlucky.
hard to hit a rock that quickly and not kill it.
Is that what we gave last time?
Just another draw into the paint.
Yeah, it's about.
I like it.
For Wendling. Probably close to where they threw the last one. Maybe another foot.
Top 12's fine.
Cover the inside of that yellow stone so there's no
It'll stop sooner.
hit they can play.
Yeah, I think anywhere from like half in the 4 foot to biting the 8 foot would be a good spot here.
30 again.
See Wendling still going through his normal routine, not rushing through the finish line in sight. Final stone of the 8th for Wes Wendling.
Feels good. Hair less.
Looking for top 8.
It's close.
Right here,
It's close.
yeah.
It's close.
If it's less than no. It's gonna be curl.
Room.
It needs to curl. I know.
Curl it.
Now curl.
Trying to get at least a nose here.
Whoa. Nah.
Okay, that's fine, bud.
Yeah, it just goes a little too deep, so looks like nose is probably good for 1. Don't see much else there for Abear for more than a point.
I certainly love looking for those creative Hail Mary shots for more than 1, but as I'm seeing it, I'm really not seeing anything.
10?
10?
I think so. Or, I like 9.
Yeah, probably 9.
Just hold me on the nose.
Yeah.
Firm.
Just playing firm and just trying to basically put the broom where they want to hit it. That good positive release from Abear should hold it right on this line. Trying to keep his team in this game, getting a single. Final stone, 8th end. Caden Hebert.
Clean. Yep.
Right on the nose would be good.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Little.
And well thrown. Good shot by Caden. Does get the single. So now 8-4 game
1 red.
after 8 ends. And we can tell you folks, our heroes this week are here in the booth. Rory McCusker, Matt Wall, John Benton from afar. But your hero can be Warm Room Hero. They're more than just software. They're curlers dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. Caden Hebert puts a single on the board. Cut the deficit to 8-4. Nick Cenzalli leading after 8 ends of play in this championship final, the 2024 U21 Men's National Championship. Tyler George here with Ben Richardson. Ben, it's really pretty simple right now for Cenzalli. Just put a point up and it's likely handshakes.
Yeah, pretty much same plan as the 7th end. Just put up a score. Keep it open.
Cenzalli going to the corner guard.
Don't see that strategy too much these days anymore, but if your goal is to make Team Cenzalli throw against multiple rocks, I like it.
And
Hard, boys. Hard, Daniel.
this is really the last thing you want to do if you're Team Cenzalli is draw around that stone. Well, that's what Abear wants you to do, especially top 12. That's another guard. So, you know, when they go to corner there, you either want to chip that into the rings or chip it towards the sideline. But there you see the score for our women's final. Johnson takes a single.
Gotta be even.
Excuse me, a 2 in the 7th. Thought there was another number behind Tessa there.
Hard.
And now 8-7 lead for Giroux with Hammer.
Are we not even? Whoa.
The final end to play. So they need to just keep Johnson off the board to win the championship.
Not bad, Jack.
Yeah, I think throwing the corners without Hammer does a couple of things. It often, it confuses the other skip. This isn't a situation they see very often, so often the shots are not as obvious to call. And then secondly, it also gets them throwing on paths that they may have not been throwing on all game. We saw with Shaw as he got that in the house, but maybe that path was a little slower than he had been used to, getting a feel for the draw weight coming outside in, but suddenly having to throw inside out.
I could tell you an example of using this strategy too. We did it in the final end of a tour game against Brad Jacobs, where we threw 2 corners to start the end, down by 2 without the hammer. And Brad was drawing to bite the 4s against 4 on his last shot.
Good sweep.
So you take those draw paths away, that makes things a little more complicated.
That's fun.
And again, drawing under the corner is really what your opponent wants in that
Seeing the
situation.
one way high on this one.
Yeah, so this should be an interesting end here. Got some guards to work with for Team Abear.
Look at here, too.
Yeah, again, impressed with how Abear has run these
Like that a
ends
little more.
to try to give his team a chance and set things up.
Yeah, no matter what the score has been for Team Abear, they've stayed calm and mapped out each end, each shot. They always have a plan for each end.
7-8.
Benji Peril
Lead.
coming around these yellow stones with the out turn.
Mine's good. Easy room.
6.
Okay, Jack.
7.
Go.
7.
Whoa. Yep, yes, guys, yes. Curl. 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 Curl hard. Hard curl, keep going.
Benji gets a good piece behind, almost completely buried. Nice shot.
What?
Just rip these 2.
Yeah, good shot. Wanted that deep enough that you could freeze a couple others behind there, and full 4 does the trick.
Okay.
Now it's cleanup time for Team Cenzalli.
And Nick playing the double peel. Red to yellow.
Whoa. Whoa, straight. Straight.
Ooh, that'll work too. Gets that stone in the house. Not sure if that was a
We're good.
bonus there,
We tried.
Yeah.
but great results, obviously. And good call there from Wendling.
Same weight.
Yeah, Nick with the telltale there. I know the audience couldn't hear it, but something about not calling it where he threw it, but so you don't have to say that, Nick.
All you guys, T-line.
No one can hear it.
Okay.
Don't have to say
5,
it.
6. Go a little. Yep.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
Peril going under the other side now.
Hard. Keep going straight. Keep going line. Hard, Jack, keep going. Hard, Jack, keep going. Hard, Jack, full 12, keep going.
Sweeper's trying to get it to the
Really
paint.
gotta go, really gotta go.
Really good sweep there from
We got
Bestlin and Wentland.
Another thing that I think helps the team without hammer by throwing those corner guards is often you may just get a center guard with these peels if you hit it a little bit too thick, especially if you're playing them inside out like this.
Yeah, and just simple execution now for Team Cenzalli. If you're wondering why they're going to the corners as opposed to the center too, your goal here for Abear is just to try to get as many rocks in the house as you can for your opponent to look at on their last. And you can't really move the corner guards very much. You can stretch things out, spread things out. The more they're bunched up in the middle, the easier they are to clear.
Easy.
So you're really just hoping that you can sit 2 or 3 going to last rock and make your opponent throw against multiple points.
Yeah, and again, you're hoping for that miss. You just need one miss, and if you're going to get one, it might as well be against 2 or 3.
The last one, yeah. The one miss you need is the last shot.
Right.
That's it. So they're just trying to position to be sitting multiple points, even though it's likely going to be a relatively open shot. That's what you're sacrificing by not going to the center, is to have more stones in to get a chance for that miss on the last shot.
Right.
Make it good, bud.
It's right here.
Okay.
Peel.
And on the flip side here for Team Cenzalli, you're really just eliminating as many of those stones as you can so that you're throwing against as few as possible.
Yep.
On your last shot. Seems simple enough.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Other way. That'll work.
It does leave the guard. They were trying to play it over the top, I think, but
Yeah, for sure.
clears both.
Yeah, I think for Team Cenzalli, they're pretty happy if they're throwing against 2 reds. If they can have like an open hit against 2, they're pretty happy. Try to avoid throwing against more than that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wes tries to throw a hit on his last, because in that scenario, if you're throwing against 3 and you were to roll out, steal a 2, you're still up 2 with. Still a really good scenario.
Game's over.
It's gliding a little bit, should stay on the paint. This is last rock of the women's final.
Does the double play?
I mean,
Looks as though that's a steal of 1.
Sorta.
That'll be an extra end
It should.
in the women's championship game.
If we're throwing it, I like Peel.
Entire tournament in 10 ends,
If
not
you
enough
chip
for
that,
them.
Then you might get that too. Let's
So
try it.
Giroux will have hammer in the extra. We'll keep tabs on that one as well.
Get a couple reds here with this if you hit in the right spot.
Close. Close.
This is one where you feel like you're really closing in if you can make this. See if they can get both. It's close. And gets them both. Great shot by Daniel Lauder.
Yeah.
15-4.
I suppose I could call him by Laufer too. Laufer makes the double. A little fist pump from Daniel as well.
15-4. 30.
Laufer's had a very strong game too, Ben. It just seems like he's made the shots they needed every time it was a big situation.
Yeah, he really has, and we talked earlier about the key, one of the big keys of this game being the thirds, and he has really showed up to play today.
Not a lot of.
Mine's good.
So Abear just trying to get
Room.
Mine's good.
2 rocks on the paint now, but pretty simple
Room.
decision here for
Okay, got a curl. Curl.
Wes Wendling. If this rock is
Curl.
buried at all, just
Cheating.
keeping things
Hard
open,
Jack.
not giving up a 2 if they can.
Hard.
Jack, keep going.
Hard all the way. Hard. Hard. Hard, Jack. Hard. Gotta go. Really gotta go.
This will still have a good piece showing.
Control there.
Yeah,
Wendland
this
and
is-
Peril have really given everything they have on the broom too. So many shots like
I
that.
like that.
Yeah, me too.
Long game and long week of pounding those stones for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I've been really impressed with these teams is their fitness level, to be able to be sweeping with the intensity and the strength that they are able to. The 9th end of a long week of curling with multiple games every day. It's a testament to their work ethic and the work they've been putting on
And
during
you
the
see-
season and the off season.
You see the reward for it right there. The championship trophy and the medals waiting.
Yep.
regardless of color. Whatever goes around their necks, be well earned by both of these teams.
Curl! Hard, no, you have it. Just curl. Sorry, Wes, that's my fault.
And good shot by Wendling, though. Just safely by.
Yeah.
And that's handshakes. That's good enough. Team Cenzalli, Team West Wendling, your 2024 USA Curling U21 National Champions. 8-4 victory over Team Abear. Fantastic performance by them today. All week long, they get the rubber match over their rivals, Team Abear. And Ben, really well deserved for this squad. They did everything they needed to when it mattered. And those gold that go around their neck will be very well deserved for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. All week long, they've been one of the top teams. They've been so impressive. Really didn't have a lot of weaknesses, this team. Any shot that they threw, they were close on everything, and very well deserved.
And for Team Abear, awfully tough to not hang your head right now. We've been in that spot. We got enough silvers to know that feeling. You don't want that for anybody, but I can't say enough about how impressed I was with them all through the week. They played in one of the best round robin games I've seen in juniors, and the way that they tried to put ends together too and get themselves back in the game, whether the execution was there or not, they just so impressed with their outside the box thinking to put those ends together too. Just a really, really impressive week, and can't wait to see what those guys do going forward.
Yeah,
I hope they keep their heads high.
Yeah, that team is not going anywhere. It's hard for me to believe how young they are. They are so beyond their years. We're going to be seeing them around for a long time.
You see that final, 8-4. Nick Cenzalli will be representing the United States, the Junior World Championships, next season. Women's final still going on, now in an extra end. We're going to bring you at least the side view. We're past lead stones now. Giroux trying to keep things as open as they can. We're sticking with the game for the time being. This is second Ella Fleming. Trying to open things up. That's well done. Giroux sitting one behind two red stones. Johnson talking about moving those stones right now. Ben, I don't know if they're, with where they have that broom, I think they are playing the tap, and I think this is really early.
I
agree.
agree.
Into the house.
Yeah, pretty good situation for Johnson with those rocks, the way that they're lined up. Especially, I think that was seconds rocks on that peel there. I would think a couple more guards just delay making a move on that yellow.
You see the hugs from family for Team Wendling, Team Cenzalli. I think we got to call them both. You skip and throw the last rocks, your name gets mentioned too. There is that tap. It's pretty well made, but I agree, Ben. That's really early to play that shot. And now you get a bunch of cracks at clearing these out for Team Giroux. If you keep guarding until you get to skip stones on that and make that tap, if this was what you're looking at, going to skips first, you got a really good setup. And I don't know that Giroux would have had a choice but to peel out right to that point.
Yeah, especially with how strong this Team Giroux is at hitting. Want to eliminate as many chances as possible for them to clear up stones.
If they can lose two and roll away, it'd be a really good result here. Oh, that's
like
a great
that.
shot. That's perfect. And now that stone, not shot rock and very lonely. That's the key shot of the end right there. And I think that was Fleming's second. So now you're on third's first stone, and all of a sudden you have no protection.
You can even just see like the body language of Allie and Tessa there, like the relief, like they're smiling, they're feeling good, feeling confident going into these last 4 shots.
Big shot there from Ella Fleming, the Katie Beck Award winner from this year. Makes one that Katie would be very proud of. And it's, you know, I think fitting that, you know, if that ends up being the biggest shot of this extra end, that the Katie Beck Award winner makes it.
Absolutely.
Certainly not close to finished here, but that's just a huge shot from Ella Fleming. Coach Tim Solon, we don't have mics for the players, so we'll continue to analyze with you here.
What do you like here, Ty?
I don't think you have any choice but to guard. You don't really have anything set up in the house where you could just continue to go in the rings. I mean, the whole idea for the extra end anyways is that you're just trying to have something to go underneath or something protecting the center line. And you still do have a rock in the top of the 4-foot, so if you can guard out for a few more shots, you may be able to tap on your last and keep a good angle where it'd be a difficult score for Giroux.
Yeah,
you gotta make them waste a few stones.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think you keep guarding the red, and then you'll have options on the last. Like you said, you could tap that red to an angle. That might be the best result. You could even just hit that yellow and sit too, kind of both biting the 4-foot, and then you kind of tempt Allie into, okay, do you draw or do you make some kind of a hit and roll, kind of make her look at 2 different shots? So most likely Allie will still have to make a good one if this plays out the way we think it will.
Intern guard. First stone of the extra for Gianna Johnson. Just a mid guard here, dead in front of your red stone is your ideal situation. This looks like a lot of weight though. Trying to hit the brakes, but looks like it might be in the house. So Tessa Thurlow is going to get a crack at taking both those out. If you can get that over the top, I can't really see the angle well, and have the shooter go off, then you're absolutely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way they're calling it. They may just be playing the nose double here.
It might be a little thinner than it looks like from our angle to go over.
That was a little higher. I think I like going over the top, but
Tessa Thurlow playing firm. Playing the double. Hanging a little bit. And makes the double. Great shot by Tessa. Love seeing this execution in the extra end when it counts from Team Giroux. There you see Tessa Thurlow. We were so complimentary of her demeanor in the semifinal matchup when things looked like they were going pear-shaped for Team Giroux, how calm she kept the squad.
yeah, I really like the combination of Tessa and Allie in the back end. Tessa does a really good job of grounding Allie for those big shots, and Allie is such a great curler. She shows up and hits them.
So need to get something up top here now for Team Johnson. Looks like they're coming in for a freeze here, so need to be locked on if you're playing it down in the house. Over curling a little bit. Right to the side of the button.
They're calling to keep the shooter around the 4-foot. Wouldn't mind just seeing the shooter completely roll out. Not a ton of reason to keep it around. Could be used by Team Johnson.
There's nothing wrong with nosing so you're above the tee line too, although it might give a hit and roll back. Still wouldn't be on the center line.
That back 4 rock certainly not helping you right now.
Thurlow hits and rolls away.
Good result.
Very good shot there.
We'll give them a second look at this freeze.
Yeah, I think you're hoping at this point, Ben, that you can make this freeze good enough that either a half miss and you're still in the 4-foot, or they peel it out. Now you can draw under that yellow stone and at least make Allie draw for the win after that.
Right.
Probably have to hit a good piece of the 4-foot.
Yeah, because even though there's no guards in play, that top 12 rock still basically is a guard.
Allery Johnson's first extra end women's national championship game. Looks like this one may be over curling again now. Try to bury at least a piece instead. Mostly open. Now you may want to try to stick around there, make the score really difficult. May not have all the stones, so maybe just playing it safe and picking it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get to nose of this hit, that would be really nice. But it's still one of those shots. I mean, you never want to get close to that top 12 rock. So just make sure the rock goes away. If you can get to nose, that's a bonus.
Allie Giroux, out-turn pick. Just trying to get rid of the stone. Sweeping this one early. Sweeper's trying to hold it, getting tight to that top stone. Oh, it haired the rock and still gets it.
What a sweep by Ella Fleming to get that by.
Touched that top stone. That's really unfortunate for Johnson, as obviously if it wrecks, you're guarding and you got a great chance maybe of getting that steal. And it even pushes that rock over farther, so it's not as good of a guard to go around. So now it's freeze for your life for Allery Johnson. If you can lock it on, you make the opposing skip, make something good for your last.
And same shot they've thrown a couple times now. Should be close on this one.
Johnson's final stone. Has to get shot rock. Her top 8 out of hand. Sweepers have to go for weight. Really need to go to get it there. The line's good to go around. That is going to stop short. And that is a final. Allie Giroux takes this U21 Women's National Championship over Allery Johnson. After being on life support in the semifinals, stealing, getting 2 in the 9th, stealing in the 10th to beat Ava Chapman. They pull off the victory to get to the final, come back from a 4-1 deficit in the final, and they will be Team USA for the upcoming season at the Junior Bs, represent the United States. Wonderful finish for them. You see the emotion. What a well-played final end from that team, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, this team has been playing great all week, but I've been really impressed with their composure today. It's been a roller coaster for them, ups and downs in both games, but they've held themselves, they've held their composure, and they've made the big shots when they needed to.
So there are your national champions. Team Allie Giroux, and for the men's side, Team West Wendling / Cenzalli. Allie Giroux, Ella Fleming, Tessa Thurlow, Brooke Giroux, alternate Savannah Koch. What a day for them. So we will be signing off here. Medal ceremony to come for all the medaling teams. I'd like to thank you all for watching and supporting the web stream, USA Curling, all these teams at the Junior Nationals. For Tyler George, Ben Richardson, Rory McCusker, Matt Wall, John Benton, somewhere out there, Joel Dietz, the whole Curling Stadium crew, Dean Gemmel and USA Curling. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you somewhere this season.
So for all who want to stay for the closing ceremony, we'll get that started in just a few minutes out on the ice. And if you're a parent, fan, friend, family, whatever, you're welcome to go out on the ice and take photos, etc. as well.
Can we leave these here or do you want them inside?
Not bother me.
Leaving them. Thank you, and thank you for everything this week. Thank you.
National champions, yeah!
All right, let's start with a round of applause for our medalists in the 2024 U21 National Championship. On behalf of USA Curling, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks both to the Eau Claire Curling Club and the Eau Claire community for hosting a great event. I know the volunteer hours that were put in here, much appreciated. I hope we were good partners as well. I want to thank Jeff Haas here, the event chair. Let's thank Jeff. I couldn't find Jeff for a moment while we were getting ready for the ceremony. It's the first time I didn't see him for a moment here all week, so thank you, Jeff. Tracy Reichel, the club president, thank you, Tracy, for allowing us to be here at your facility. I want to thank Jason Card, the head ice tech here at Eau Claire, and his crew. Terrific job all week. John Olson, our USA Curling ice tech, said it was about the easiest week he had, thanks to Jason and his crew. I want to thank all the volunteers, officials. Great job, Aaron Hoffman, Fred Fetzer, Steve Shields, Susie Sarnetsky, and all the others who are here helping out. And I really want to thank competitors as well. And as much as I want to thank the competitors, all the parents back there. So give it up for your parents, competitors. Thanks to Curling Stadium, our partners with the webcast. We've got Tyler George out here. He's going to present some awards. They did a great job webcasting for us at this championship and 2 others as well this year. And all our local and national sponsors. Shields. I went back, bought more things at Shields this week. Shields and Columbia, our national sponsor, continue to support Columbia. With that, I'd like to get to the awards. We'll start with the women's bronze medalists. Actually, first I'll let you know who's presenting here. So, 2018 Olympic gold medalist Tyler George. Event chair Jeff Haas. And USA Curling Chief Operating Officer Craig Perry here to offer the award as well. So our women's bronze medalists from the Bemidji and Denver Curling Club's Team Chapman, Lila Farwell, Francis Chapman, Jesse Morgan, Claire Chapman, and Ada Chapman, coached by Ross Inman and Amy Oldenburg. Come on over and get your bronze medal. Rice Lake. I'm sorry, it is Duluth. I'm so sorry. I was really trying to give our member clubs props and I dropped the ball. Duluth and Denver. And now our bronze medalists from the Chaska Curling Club, St. Paul Curling Club, Team Gensel, Stuart Strack, Larry Hines, Will Pendrowski, Mason Gensel, coached by Stevie Rockton. The bronze medalist, 2024 U21 Championships. And now for our women's silver medalists from Four Seasons Curling Club, Team Johnson, Allery Johnson, Deanna Johnson, Morgan Zacher, Bailey Davis, Chris Johnson, and Tim Soul. Your 2024 U21 Junior Women's Silver Medalist, Team Johnson. And now, a special hometown welcome for your silver medalists from the Eau Claire Curling Club, Team Abear. Shane Nelson, Jack Wetland, Benji Corral, Jackson Besson, Team Abear, coached by Mike Popinski. These guys are terrific representatives for your community, everybody. Your 2024 U21 silver medal, Team Abear. Now it's time to present the gold medals and our championship trophy. On the women's side, from the Chaska, Fargo Moorhead, and Capital Curling Clubs, Team Giroux, Alan Giroux, Tessa Fuller, Ella Fleming, Brooke Giroux, Savannah Cook, and they're coached by Anya Normandale and Craig Fleming. The 2024 U21 Junior Women's Champions, Team Giroux. And finally, our 2024 U21 Junior Men's Champion, Team Cenzalli and Wendling, from the Wausau Curling Club, the Cape Cod Curling Club, the Philadelphia Curling Club, and the Plainfield Curling Club. Dylan Siatka, Shaheen Basiri, Nick Cenzalli, Daniel Lawford, and Wes Wendling, coached by Jim Wendling, Bill Lawford, and Wayne Anderson. There they are, your 2024 U21 Junior Men's National Champions. Congratulations. Thanks again to everyone here at the Eau Claire Curling Club. Congratulations to all the competitors. Safe travels home. Hey teams, our photographer here, Jeff Thompson, who's done great work all week, would like to get a few photos of all the teams.